The views expressed on this Turnbuckle Tabloid live stream or Turnbuckle Tabloid podcast episode do not reflect the views, thoughts, or opinions of the Rageworks brand, including the Rageworks Podcast Network, Rageworks content partners, advertisers, and affiliates. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Jay the Red Santee, host of Turnbuckle Tabloid. And as you know, here on our show, we are big fans of music. Pop, R&B, reggae, rock, whatever have you. We love to play it here on the show. But what we want to play is your music. And how can we do that? So you guys partake and share in our Patreon. Ladies and gentlemen, go to our Patreon at patreon.com/Turnbuckle Tabloid and just give us a small donation, and we would love to share your music on our show. Whether you're an artist, you're a singer, you rhyme, you're a producer, whatever it is that you guys do in the field, we want to share your music to the masses and our hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of listeners and viewers and followers. So make sure you go to our Patreon at patreon.com/Turnbuckle Tabloid and be a part of our show as much as we want to be a part of sharing your talent. So hope to hear from you guys soon and enjoy the show. Turnbuckle Tabloid.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, Marco Bezos. I ain't the nigga to mess with. I ain't the nigga to mess with. Catching feelings for me like having a death wish. Try to keep it real, but you calling me reckless. Pulling up in sweats while you think you're your best fit. I know I hit you with the bomb sex, and every day's a struggle cause you know I'm complex. I'm easy to love, I'm hard to like. If you don't understand this life, you'll be hard to wife. It ain't too many like me, not my fault, Mark, you're tight. It ain't my fault. If we could get past the feelings, then you know I'm nasty like a motherfucker. I mean, eat the booty long as it ain't got no truffle butter. Lay up with you for the night, then send you to that other sucker. Cause it's back to the cash. Only way to make it, never think about the past. Saying you can handle it, but I know we gon' crash. Cause we already know a good thing can last. That's right, I got it. So tell me, how nasty could we get? One thing's for sure, two things for certain. If we don't end up working. That's right, I got it. So tell me, how nasty could we get? One thing's for sure, two things for certain. If we don't end up working. You know I come with a lot, you know I soon pop. We living for the moment, so let's give it what we got. When I'm all up in your guts and I'm kissing on your spot. Think I like you for the moment, then I love you, then it's not. Hold up, I'm bipolar with these feelings, fucking on the top floor. Cause the room ain't had no ceilings. Pussy shot me up the cloud nine, thinking about the children. Fuck knocking down your walls, girl, I'm knocking down the building. Hold up, here I go again, blowing in the wind. Thinking I could fuck her crazy, then go and be a friend. Questions never gone in, try to brush it off, deal with it in the morning. Then we at it all day till the break of dawn. And it's the only part of us that be getting boring. Now I'm at your door and decisions you forced me to make, it got you doubting me. Petty you, hoping I fail, you know, no doubt I be good. That's right, I got it. So tell me, how nasty could we get? One thing's for sure, two things for certain. If we don't end up working. That's right, I got it. So tell me, how nasty could we get? One thing's for sure, two things for certain. If we don't end up working. I'll be good. I'll be good. Guess it's blur season. I guess it's blur season.
Tabloid, cutting a promo. Cutting a promo, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do that, we will like to give a shout out to all of you people who are celebrating the holidays this year. Here at Turnbuckle Tabloid, Jay Santy and your boy Matt Olskey would like to say happy holidays. And if you didn't give us a present this year, we hope you get a lump of shit in your stocking.
All I asked was for a download, and you couldn't even give me that, right?
A download of what?
Our episode, and you didn't fucking give. You guys couldn't do it, right?
Listen, I would have at least appreciated if you motherfuckers would have sat there and voted on our polls. Jesus, give us something.
Listen, I'm gonna share it one more time. I'm gonna reshare them, and
please do.
Hopefully, people have another faint of heart or change of heart.
Yeah, then let it be that.
If not, then guess what the winner of every single award's gonna be? The worst person on that list, because if you don't fuck yourselves.
Terrible human beings. Terrible human beings.
Yeah, that's the way it be.
All right, so let's do TLC review first, Olskey. What do we got on that end? Which, by the way, mixed reviews by many individuals in the landscape, but I must tell you that a lot of people was more heavy on liking it than not liking it. What's your thoughts?
If you were going into TLC saying, I just want to focus on the TLC matches, you had a 5-star night. Those TLC matches were absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic.
Top to bottom. We witnessed a murder, which I guess, in all honesty, like the second that the Fiend died or quote unquote burned alive, I automatically said, "Welp."
What's going on, Slick boy?
What's going on, Slick? I automatically thought to myself, "Oh, TNA killed Swinger, and now we killed the Fiend. I guess they're no different." Once again,
yeah.
Yeah. like we gave Impact shit for killing someone on TV, but basically WWE just did it, which I'm not mad at. I'll get to the main event in a minute, but let's just start off with Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles. I was so entertained. And Red, I'm going to ask you this question and bring it to you with this. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, you went on the show and said that since we have not seen a superstar caliber, a newcomer in WWE like a John Cena, Batista, like the next era of superstars,
right,
in a very long time. Mm-hmm. Is Drew McIntyre really? Is he pleading a case, man? Because for me, he really is. And the fact that regardless of Money in the Bank contract cash in, which they easily could have gave the Miz a cheap win there,
right? I
think Vince is full speed ahead with this dude. I think he's getting there as the face of this generation, bro. I really do.
Well,
if they continue with this, I see Drew in that conversation as the next Batista or John Cena. I really do. And imagine him with a crowd. It's only going to get better from here.
Well, Vince was hiring him years ago, so we already knew that. I think
he's in the boss's hand.
Yeah, and I also think that Vince is going to be like, I told you guys that Drew McIntyre was the chosen one. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what?
Vince McMahon knows what he's talking about.
But
until you fucking got rid of him and then
But you know what? But you know what though? Honestly, bro, like I would be mad if it was Vince's choice and the guy sucked. But I think Drew without Vince's approval he's killing it, bro. That match was outstanding. The spots were fucking dangerous. I don't know if Vince told them to pick up their shit and fucking just do whatever the fuck they want. But I saw a true TLC match on both brands that night.
Well, another thing that comes up, guys, if you want to call in, 315-371-4367. That's 315-371-4367. But we're gonna let you guys know we're on time restraints because, like I said, you boys have a conversation with another podcast coming up soon, so we just got to do this as quickly as we can. But pretty much, honestly. Not only was Drew and AJ, plus Drew sold an injury. He was selling an injury.
But you know what, Red? I have to wait for tonight because Drew always sells an injury at every pay-per-view and it magically goes away on Raw. So I need to see if he better limp today. He better limp tonight.
But other than that, people were not happy that look at Foot Dash. Thank you, my guy. Turnbuckle Tabloid, more like Sexy Hunk Tabloid.
My boy Juan giving me hearts, yo.
Play the music, sirs. The best part about it, which everybody's like, what a waste of money in the bank. Fuck you. Miz cashing in was fucking awesome, man.
It was awesome. And you know what?
And why is it that anybody who cashes in automatically has to win? No fucking way. It doesn't.
Well, according to my calculations, the past four of the past 5 Money in the Bank people lost. So why is this news to you?
Hi, everybody.
News. Oh shit, Grego.
It's Grego. You fucking
shit.
losers.
According to my calculations, when I was jerking off last night at TLC, which is a true fact, jokes aside, 4 of the 5 past Money in the Bank winners have failed their cash in.
But that's what makes it great, because
that's what makes it great. And Vince realized that. Vince was like, you know what? We need to change this up. We need to make you guys fucking lose to make this shit matter when we cash it in. Because now, instead of us knowing they're gonna win, we're on our feet.
Right. I thought it worked perfectly. It hit.
But yeah, but the match was great. But the one negative I have to say is let's see. How could I say this without sounding like a dickhead? How does the chair break on the security guy's back?
Oh no, that's gimmick. That was done purposely.
No, I understand. That's the point. Why I'm pissed. I'm sorry, but we've seen chairs being hit by We've seen Big Show hit with a chair. We've seen Great Khali hit with a chair. That's never happened. But this guy, it shatters into a million pieces like a puzzle. Are you fucking kidding me?
But yes, that's gimmick because they want to sell that this guy's a powerhouse.
I know, but like I look at the Big Show and I'm like, this shit didn't break on you.
I mean, listen.
If it bent, I would be like, all right. But it collapsed like a fucking broken toy. Like it broke into 5 pieces.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm not too upset with it. That's fine.
I started dying watching that shit. I was like, oh my god, really?
That's fine with that. But what else we have?
But Drew retained, and that was a great fucking match. Drew, I think, is the next is a superstar. We had
Turnbuckle Tabloid. Who's this?
Yo.
Yo, what's going on, sir?
What's up? So, can you like 619 your friend, but take away the 1?
Ooh.
Ooh, that sounds like my cup of tea.
Let me tell you, that would
be a little kinky.
That would be a little difficult if we were not in the same room.
Oh god damn it! What is this?
I think we're gonna we'll 69 digitally.
If you were gonna go in the ring, if you were gonna pick a wrestler to go against Bonesaw for 3 minutes, who are you picking?
I know exactly who I'm picking.
Who are you picking?
I'm going with the best that ever did it. I'm going with Dwayne Gill. I'm going with Gilbert.
Gilbert? You don't want to go with the King, Rey Mysterio?
Why would I want to go with Rey Mysterio?
I'm gonna go with Kalisto.
He's got the most similar traits to the human spider. The agility, moving around. I think that's a great pick.
I would have went with Ricochet if he would have said that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with fuck this. I'm gonna go with an OG. I'm gonna go with Psychosis. Psychosis.
John Cena himself.
By the way, this phone call is brought to you by Pornhub because apparently we're going to be 619ing without the 1 soon. But it's brought to you by Pornhub, where we removed 6 million videos this past week.
What's going on? What's your name, man?
That's a tragedy.
What's your name, man?
All right, I'm gonna go cry because I don't know what to beat my meat to anymore.
Oh, that's all right.
All right.
There's a plethora of stuff. You could always go to fuq.com. VXXXS and
okay.
Christian Mingle, you could always beat your meat to that.
Oh, all right. You have any videos you'd recommend by them?
There's one with this Christian girl who's having sex with this Jewish guy with the curls, with the Hasidic Jew. It's outstanding. It's awesome.
The video's called Temper's Flare.
That's beautiful. I love that image. Thank you.
When religions collide, that's what it's called. When religions collide.
It's a beautiful experience.
Thank you, sir, for calling in, and please always chime in when you can when Turnbuckle Tabloid goes live, and thank you for your call.
Of course. Goodbye.
Thank you, fam.
Gotta love our listeners. What's next?
Sasha Banks, of course, retained against Carmella. I told you, but it wasn't a roll-up. It was by submission. Carmella, and I'll be honest, Carmella looks like $1 million. She really does. Like, you can just tell. I know Michael Cole said it as corny as it sounds. She looks confident as fuck. She's playing her character right, and it wasn't a bad match. It really wasn't.
Oh, no, I don't think it was. I think they just, you know what bothers me now? That they beating up them faces really bad with the makeup, though. They killing me with that shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Makeup is getting...
Sasha looks like 2 different fucking colors of skin, unfortunately. I don't know. Something right.
Yeah, a little bit says she's looking like less of a Smurf, I guess, what they're doing.
I mean, I guess.
And Carmella's not a bad-looking female. She's not a bad-looking woman, but I don't know that... It looks like they're superimposing her face with some shit. I don't know.
Of course, because she's the champion, so Vince thinks, make our champion look like a princess.
She's kind of looking like the sexiest Fraggle Rock character. I don't know. It's kind of looking weird to me.
I love that show.
I don't know.
Fraggle Rock.
But the match wasn't bad. I wasn't upset with the finish. I was waiting to hear Corey Graves go over big if Carmelo won. I want to see how he would have sold
You really want
that
that relationship on TV, huh?
I think that it's one that he sells it, doesn't sell it, doesn't sell it. Like he's on the fence with it. He's tongue in cheek with it. But as for Carmella herself as a worker, nobody cannot say that she hasn't elevated herself in the past couple of weeks with her wrestling though.
What happened?
That Carmella has been able to elevate herself as a wrestler in the past couple of weeks.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think she's looking good, man.
Yeah. What else we got?
So then we had the return of Charlotte Flair, which everyone was expecting. Which, by the way, the highlight of her return is the obvious that she took out her breast implants.
I mean, who cares? Like,
nobody cares. But listen.
She's less sexy without big tits. I was more worried about her man fucking vagina. That's what she had.
For me, I'm just kind of not looking forward to Asuka and Charlotte facing again because I know we're gonna get that. It's like we've seen that.
You gave the tag team titles to another team who's doing what they former holders were doing. What the fuck are we doing here? The better look would have been giving the tag team titles to a tag team that you're trying to elevate, not this.
Oh, maybe Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose?
Something like that. I mean,
you're trying to put them over, right? Not these. Oh, come on. And I know what it is. It's Vince wanting to minimize the women's segments on the show, and if he thinks, let's put the fucking belts on, let's put both belts on Asuka, we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The second they won, I was like, yeah, Vince does not want 2 women's segments, huh?
Look. Okay, Chris, fine. Sasha is sexy. Okay,
She's all right.
But she still looks like her face is getting beat up with fucking with tons of contour and fucking and cover up. It's just leave her natural.
Which, by the way, I have the honor to give you a 1-sentence review of Sasha Banks' acting on The Mandalorian, spoiler-free. I'll give it to you right now. Give me a drum roll. She fucking sucks. Thank you. She's fucking terrible. Yo, oh my God. Get her off Star Wars now.
Next up.
Then we had, of course, the Hurt Business winning the tag titles, which I saw that coming from a mile away. They want Her Business as the faces of Raw in terms of give them all the gold. That was the plan, and the match I didn't care for. I mean, did you enjoy it? I really didn't care.
I did, and then what came after it actually was more impactful for when we saw Shelton Benjamin dedicate the match to Shad Gaspar.
Yeah, he ran to Shad Gaspar's house and fucking celebrated with his son.
And I actually, when I saw that, my hairs were standing for that. It was actually a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
And those are certain things that you shouldn't share on social media, but in this case, I thought it was a beautiful thing to do, man. And the match was good. It was a really good match. I really thought it was solid. I'm not much of a fan with this Cedric kind of wants to be bigger than the group kind of thing.
I do, because one day MVP's gonna humble his ass and it's gonna turn into
I would humble you. I'm going to humble you, you jabroni.
Yo, Iron Sheik literally tweeted about the Jets winning yesterday. That's how bad the Jets are. Like, but anyway, I don't want to be off topic. But her business with all the gold is awesome. But like I said, I like this Cedric. I think it's a Cedric that's needed because
I think it's character development, and they need to show that he's
character development.
Yeah.
And one day he's gonna break out of her business mold. Not now, not anytime soon, because he just won the tag belts.
Right.
But when the time is up, when the time is ready,
his time is up. His time is now. Cedric Alexander. All right.
Exactly.
Let's not do that.
Yikers.
Let's not do that. All right. Next
yeah,
up.
no.
Next
then
up.
we had Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, which wow, another fucking amazing TLC match. I'll tell you. We usually make fun of WWE for not taking advantage of their stipulation matches, in terms of like, for instance, like they give us a tables match and no one goes through a table. This time around, they used TLC to the max.
Right.
What do you thought about this? Because I'll be honest, I knew Kevin Owens had zero chance of winning, but there were a few times where I sat there and went,
Are they gonna give him the belt?
he might win. And that's the key of a fucking match. That's how you book a wrestling match. Because, listen, the curtain's been pulled for a long time now. We could kind of know when the belt's going to change hands at this point, but you still want to reel us in. They did that very well.
Well, that, and I also like the fact that they
Very well.
that they placed Jey Uso in there as a key element to the match.
He got annoying at times, though. To be honest with you, he
not in my perspective.
He was the cock block of the fucking amazing match that we.
But I mean, that's what he was supposed to do. But the other thing is, you gave that essence as well in certain spots that Roman was able to be taken out. The spot where he speared through the barricade, the table spot. It wasn't like fucking having Brock Lesnar in there that he's he's unbeatable or some shit like that. It's shown that there was kinks in the armor that he can be beaten, and hopefully on Friday or a Friday after on the SmackDown where we get a story from Kevin saying, "I almost had you," right there.
Well,
I almost had you.
Well, you heard what happened, right?
Right.
They already announced the steel cage match between the two ones for SmackDown.
Hey, Slick, leave my man Jey Uso alone. That haircut is fire, boy. He looks more like K7 from TKA. Only Spanish 80s freestyle motherfuckers would know that shit. Next up.
My guy said Jey Uso looked like Full Force and House Party. I don't even know what that is, but
Tender love, tender love.
But it was a great match. Roman retained. Roman is a fucking man. This is what I was watching the match and I was like, this is exactly what we wanted from Roman.
Exactly. This is where it's supposed to be.
They're doing Roman the way that we've been begging them to do Roman for years. Raw and uncut. Yummy. And finally we had
also on Pornhub, Roman raw and uncut.
Exactly. The Firefly
He's Jewish. He is a Jew.
Match. We had the Firefly Inferno match, and the first thing that came to my mind when the fire popped up was Red's going to hate this.
And to be honest with you,
because it wasn't on the ropes, because it looked corny, like on the. That's what I thought.
No. And to be honest with you, I was not. I like the first thing I already knew when I saw it was like, this was pre-recorded. I already knew this.
Well, yeah, that was confirmed.
Which was fine, but which is actually really cool because you still had the fans on the screen.
Yeah, I wonder who hit the fans up and said, "Hey, listen, so we're doing this one match like at 2:00 in the afternoon. Are you available?" They probably hit up Rich.
Right, like something like that. They probably had like these other, don't spoil it.
Exclusive VIP mooks.
That or the fact that when you use the when you because you've been on before, there's a disclaimer that you can use your image whenever they want.
Yep.
So they probably would have sat there and just used countless fucking loops of different people. They just was flipping it. Which regardless of that, it was fine. Jey Uso is louder than love. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. He came, baby, came. Baby, come. For me, the match itself, I thought was almost, if you wanted to get into the semantics of having the Fiend come off as this monster predator kind of guy, perfect. There was elements in the match, because I paid attention to what he did. The little nuances of what he did. Like, for instance, when he tried to light Randy on fire with the rocking chair, and Randy
That's
ducked
hot.
it. When Randy moved, you heard him laugh, and he walked past the rocking chair, and then like with his fingers, he just flicked the rocking chair.
Yeah, I saw that.
So-
Yeah, he touched it.
I was like, those little nuances make things work for this character. I love the Fiend. What other aspects of the match did you enjoy?
That shit was fucking really fun, man. The Fiend, it kind of reminded me of I don't, this is not in a bad way, but it reminded me of like a Halloween, Friday the 13th kind of movie where it's like you said, the Fiend touched the rocking chair and nothing happened. Like he didn't get burned. He touched like the nuance, like the slight things, the details mattered in this match.
Right.
The Fiend looked untouchable in the beginning. He laughed at everything that Randy was doing as expected. The second I saw the Fiend keep that leather jacket on, though, I was like, this dude's getting lit tonight. He's getting lit.
Yeah, it's kind of a tell when you see that, though.
But people are making fun of the dummy at the end because he got burned. Oh, you got a call. You're cutting a promo to be the review of TLC.
Turnbuckle Tabloid is this now. What we're gonna do is cutting up promos. We're gonna do we'll do it afterwards. Don't worry about it. Cutting a promo. Who's this?
You know who the fuck this is.
It be that boy Slick. What's going on, Slick?
I'm chilling. What's up, brothers?
Listen, you could be very judgmental when it comes to wrestling. You're very opinionated, and you have your je ne sais quoi when it comes to how wrestling and how it correlates to the fandom these days. What was your thoughts about this Firefly Funhouse Burning Embers match?
It was honestly a great match. My only complaints were I was like, I thought that WWE was supposed to be more family friendly now, and they setting motherfuckers on fire. But then I forgot earlier this year the stipulation was for the match was take a motherfucker's eye out.
I mean, come on. But again, Matt.
No, like the past
But
year.
I have one
go
comment and then one question.
Uh-huh.
My comment was I was actually surprised that the Fiend didn't set himself on fire.
That would have been I don't know.
I'm gonna lose on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was not surprised at all when he caught fire and he kept moving.
Right.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Right.
But after the ending, my question is, how long they gonna Freddy Krueger this motherfucker before he comes back from the dead?
Well, you know what? That's probably the fucking idea of it, because when we saw after TLC went off the air, an hour later, Bray Wyatt puts up a post where it says thank you, and it's an image of a cocoon, meaning that the guy is going to be in a chrysalis, and there might be a new reinvention of the Fiend, or something else. So that's not far fetched though. The Freddy Krueger aspect might work.
My opinion, I think they're gonna.
I mean, they literally
Slick,
set him on fire.
Slick, hold on, Slick. Hold on, Slick. What was it?
I truly think that
they could easily sell it
all
where
right.
they
He can't
have
hear
him reappear, not necessarily as the Fiend if they don't want to do the Fiend anymore, but in like a boiler room with flames and shit.
I mean, that could work, but I mean, it has to be done properly, because the only person that's really dealing with his creativity is Bray Wyatt right now. And ain't nobody fucking with him. Because, listen, his merch is selling off the fucking shelves. It's like probably number 2 or number 1 on the fucking WWE shop right now. So, whatever the fuck he's doing, they're letting him do whatever the fuck he wants. So, if that's going to be the way he wants to go, or if he finds something where he could go off TV for a minute and be like, yo, I'll be back, they'll let him do it. But other than that, I think that before I let you go, Slick, what's your thoughts about the next move for Randy?
Say that again?
I said, what do you think is the next move for Randy?
That's a good question, because I was always wondering, it's like, how come every time they put Randy against, like, a quote-unquote monster, it's Randy that does some outlandish, monstrous shit, not the actual monster. But his next move would probably be to try to get back into the championship picture, because, the Fiend cost him that.
Right. All right, but
So I mean, that would be the sensible thing. But who else is he gonna feud with?
we'll talk about it when we hang out with you. But sir, thank you for calling in always, and thank you for supporting us here at Turnbuckle Tabloid and Rageworks for life, son. All day, every day, boy.
Yes. For life. Happy holidays to Rageworks and all my boys.
You too, fam. Love you.
Fucking Mook.
Mook.
So what about that thought about him engulfing himself in flames and putting himself out?
I don't get that. But what I wanted to say was, I do think the Fiend will reinvent as a more mature. I know he already looks mature, but like I really do think they're gonna go to the next level here. I mean, if last night wasn't a clue to you, they're going in a more mature fucking avenue. That's what I got. Excuse me. That's what I got from last night. So if you're telling me the Fiend is dead and he did a cocoon, I think we're gonna get maybe more gore, more blood, maybe, and the next step of the Fiend's got to be something more fucking extreme. So I'm excited to see what that's about.
I think somebody pulled him to the side. Well, not someone put to the side. Let me rephrase that. I think he already had ideas what to do when it came to the development of his characters, and I think that when the premise and the thought of was the Undertaker's out the door. We're going to need that mystic kind of entity, that gimmick
Right.
in WWE. That he was the next fold to come in. And I think the reinventing himself is not only creative on his end because he saw it when it happened with Undertaker. He was also very close to Jake early on, and Jake taught him the ways of how to carry his promos and such. But I also think that he went to and people might dispute this, but I think he went the way of Cody Rhodes as well, because remember when Cody was in WWE, it was all about reinvention, new gimmicks, new looks. And Cody even stated in an interview where he says, listen, I reinvent myself, it's another toy on the line and more money coming my way.
100%.
So
you can never not reinvent yourself.
Right. So I think this is an avenue that helps him out greatly. And if he goes away for a couple of weeks, and everybody goes, listen, oh, the Fiend should have the championship. He should have the belt.
He doesn't need it.
Undertaker only, do your history, bro. Undertaker didn't have the belt. He's not even in double digits with the belt.
Yep.
It's all about the presence, the gimmick, the work, the need for that wrestler to be there. We already know that Bray Wyatt is a solid wrestler. We know that already. We've seen him do it as Bray Wyatt. We've seen him do it in NXT. We've seen him do it in WWE. Hell, when he was Husky Harris, he was a fucking solid wrestler. Now it's about the elevation of bringing him to superstardom. Now, my question to you, my fair weather young friend who's lost all this weight, who may be my heterosexual life mate, or who may leave me for the next broad that comes his way.
This guy.
These are feelings that I have that's deep, deep inside.
This is what I think about at night.
What's the next move for Randy?
I think Randy goes back to being a legend killer, and I think he will get into a storyline with. He might go back with Drew. In all honesty, I might win the belt. To be honest, I don't know. But I think it definitely includes something with with a legend, or something with winning the belt back. Because if the rumors are true, and you're telling me that it's Randy and Edge at WrestleMania, Royal Rumble's coming right around the corner.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna get Randy and Drew at Royal Rumble, and I think Randy's gonna win there. And I think Edge is going to win the Royal Rumble there, and I think that's the next step.
And before we close it out, because we're gonna finish cutting a promo, but we're gonna do it off the camera, because I gotta jump off to do something else, and then I'll hit up Olskey. And you guys fucking download and stream the episodes, man. What the fuck is wrong with y'all, man? Shit. But the one thing I have to tell you guys is Is it true, and I got to ask you, Olskey, is it true that with what USA Network is asking, NBC networks are asking out of WWE, do you think Royal Rumble will be the master reset to where possibly Randy and Edge will be the big payload to WrestleMania?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, I don't expect anything less than some sort of change right now. USA is pissed off, and when your TV provider's pissed off, when your backing is pissed off, you got to do something. There's a difference between workers in the back being pissed off and your fucking backer being pissed off. That's like you and me. That's like if RageWorks is pissed at us, we got to make some changes.
Right.
That's just how it has to go. So, I think Royal Rumble will be the beginning of some sort of more of a mature avenue. I think we're definitely going to see some mature programming soon. And listen, everyone's mad about it being Randy and Edge, and I'm all for it. It's a year-long story in the making, and give Edge the belt one more time before he fucking retires, man. I mean, and you know what Edge will do when he has that belt? He'll put a young dude over and lose to that young star. So,
all right, guys, that'll close out this part of Cutting a Promo. We got more coming down the line in the episode, but as for the live stream, we gotta go. Check you guys later on, and make sure that you check Turnbuckle Tabloid on all the podcasting outlets as well as on all the Facebook outlets. And then we got to I got shit to do. And Matt, I'll hit you up later.
All right, no problem.
Later, guys. Cutting a promo this week, ladies and gentlemen, is actually about promos. Olskey brought this to my attention. He saw an article this week, and he was like, we should talk about it. So what was it that drew your attention to doing a cut of promo about this?
Well, for me, I think people are forgetting the importance of not just your in-ring work, but your promo work. And Jonathan Coachman said it perfectly this week on Twitter. Jonathan Coachman said, and I quote, "Talent is scared to death. They will get in trouble if they change one word of a promo. Do you think The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin took a promo from a 23-year-old writer and said, yep, I will do this word for word? No, they didn't. And if you can't talk, you have no shot of getting over. Hashtag practice." Now, before I get into it, what's your initial reaction of that tweet?
He is exactly correct. But the thing about that is you got to come to understanding that there is a skill when it comes to speaking. The art of the linguistic doesn't come naturally for a lot of people.
Not or no. And I think you said this last week. There's two of the world's biggest fears: death and talking in front of an audience.
And I think talking in front of an audience has become number one.
It's possible, especially in wrestling lately with the amount of dog shit promos we get. I'm assuming, yeah, you're right.
It's tough for people to go. That's why you have to, I guess, pay homage or give some kind of praise to like government officials,
right?
Who can do that again in front of a microphone and talk. When you're able to cut promos and shit like that, you're basically selling your product, and not a lot of people can do that.
It's hard, man. But I think the theme of the tweet basically meant, do you really expect to be a success in this business by just going by the book, going word for word, sucking dick per se? No, you can't. You have to take a risk. And to be honest, I think everyone says that the back's on eggshells. They shouldn't be. They should be trying to break the mold. They should be trying to make their own promos and surprise Vince. They should be wanting to go that extra mile that Stone Cold, The Rock, Hogan did. Everyone keeps talking about them being scared of Vince McMahon if they go off script. How about you fucking what is it? Confront his bluff. Why don't you fucking do it? What's the problem with that? Like Jonathan Coachman has a perfect theme, which is, if I'm giving a promo, why don't I put my own spin on it? And if I know it's gonna be good, I don't have to worry about getting fucked. impress Vince. I'm pretty sure Vince is desperate as fuck right now. So if you're Keith Lee or a Sheamus, right, and you have an opportunity to have a promo, some mic time tonight, why don't you twist it and change it up? Why don't you change a few words that add more emotion? Why don't you add something, your own flavor to it? You're not gonna succeed going by the book because, as you could clearly tell on this week's Raw, the writing team sucks.
I think what they're afraid of is
Go for it.
no. I think they were afraid of is someone failing and making them look bad. And
But it's a risk. But it's a risk that I think it's worth it.
Yeah,
think
but
the
you
risk
also-
in this year is worth it.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. With them, they don't understand that it betters the talent if they at least get that feeling of doing something off the cuff. It makes them better workers.
I think it shows me if I'm fucking Randy Orton or Keith Lee, one of these guys on Raw, right? And I see them have trusted me like that. That's a big deal, son. Like that trust. Imagine them like just letting me go, giving me the free range to do what I want.
Well, listen,
That'll boost my ego. That'll make me more confident in the ring than with just fucking being given a fucking word by word fucking statement.
let's look at other promotions who sit there and say, "Listen, just hit this bullet point and just know this the subject matter and just go with it."
AEW does that.
What about? I mean,
Promos in AEW. Listen, they're not good. I'm not saying they're good. They're usually fucking shit.
but they let them rip.
But they let them go.
Yeah.
And I respect that more than hearing a bullshit 5-star promo word by word that I know is written for them. That's not how you're going to get the best reaction from the audience. It's not gonna happen. You guys are wondering what's missing with the promo school. I'll tell you. You're missing the realism. You're missing reeling me in. You haven't reeled me in years, and I'm waiting for you to change that. There's like Roman right now. I can say Roman Reigns is the one who's reeling me in the most.
Mhm.
I think he's taking the opportunity that he was given with Paul Heyman, and I think he's taking what all of us fans said we wanted him to be and is absorbed it and is using it.
Well, and then the other thing is that they have realized that you done kept this man quiet for such a long time that you finally realize that although you don't let him have to speak the volumes of Shakespeare, but just let him talk. He'll be fine. I think that in wrestling, it's like being a car salesman. You have to sell the product that you are having to give to the said buyer or the said purchaser of the product, and the product is yourself. Car salesmen are the best motherfuckers because they sit there and lie the fuck out of you and lie and tell you bullshit, and you'll buy whatever hunk of shit that they'll get. But if you're a bad wrestler, but you could sell that you're a good wrestler, people will cash into it.
You know who did that? I don't know. Who's a bad wrestler? Who was a shitty wrestler but because of their promo work and because of their sell, who made them feel like the best giants in the world? Let's see. I don't know. Hulk Hogan. He fucking sucked as a wrestler.
Hogan didn't suck. What he did was he was fucking
sucked.
He was
Sucked.
what you call it? He
was a body slam and a leg drop and a handshake. Fuck out of here.
He worked with what he knew. That's what the fuck it was.
Nothing? What, a leg drop and a fucking body slam? He sucked. But he was the face of the fucking business, bro. Wanna know why? Cause eat your vitamins, brother. Like that shit, not his in-ring work. He fucking sucked. Every match I've seen of Hulk Hogan, brother. It's always him getting his ass kicked for 20 minutes, power up, body slam, and leg drop. Dunzo. But he was in every main event. He was on every t-shirt. I wonder why.
Because he
fucking took a risk and he fucking used his promo work, man.
and he knew how to bring him in the audience.
Yep.
And look, the greatest wrestlers didn't have great promos. Look at Bret Hart. Bret Hart wasn't a fucking great promo guy, but he could wrestle his ass off. And sometimes your body.
My favorite promo, Ultimate Warrior. No, I'm kidding.
He's another one. He shitty as fuck in the ring.
Yep.
And his
Shitty as
promos
fuck.
might not understand what the fuck he was talking about, but people were captivated about his shit.
See, but do you think that Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan had a word by word statement, or you think they said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna take a fucking risk tonight"? I'm gonna fucking put my own flair on this shit.
I think it ties into what we spoke about before, where Vince wanted to catch up to what sitcoms were, but also Vince was also afraid of what wrestlers can do, because a lot of them weren't really focused on promos. They were focused on getting on and selling their ring work, and not what the whole total package was.
Right.
I think that became a problem. Listen, it's rare that you get guys like an MJF, Jericho, MVP. It's even, people give shit to Randy, but Randy cuts a fucking promo.
Hell, he's about to cut a great promo probably in the ring. Yeah.
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. It's a gift when you get somebody that you don't even have to give fucking bullet points. You'd be like, just go out there and sell this, and that's it. And they'd be like, okay. But
that's a big part of the business.
right. But you still got to get to the point to where guys, when they get to a certain level, they don't really give a fuck about the promo. They don't care. What they give a fuck about is fucking being a viral fucking entity because of what they did in the ring.
Like, I'm sorry, but if I'm in a Keith Lee position or a Cesaro or some of these guys on the roster, MJF, Wardlow, any of these guys, and I'm told I have 10 minutes of mic time tonight. They're going to have an idea. This is what you have to say. Work with it. You're telling me if I'm not one of those talents, I'm not going to go in the back and change it to make it the best fucking thing possible. I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to take that risk.
Let me tell you something.
That's work. Why can't guys have balls anymore? Like, honestly, like Stone Cold took risks. The Rock took risks. Undertaker took risks. Kurt Angle, one of the biggest guys who took one of the biggest risks. He became a fucking comedian, and it fucking worked. The list goes on and on, bruh. But they all took risks. You have to make that leap in the business. You have to show Vince that you're your own person as well, because you're not going to go anywhere with this bullshit from these writers. It's not going to happen.
And one of the most charismatic individuals don't have to really cut promos, because you'll sit there and just know that they're entities or themselves. But if you rarely hear them cut a promo, and it's like, now I know why they don't cut promos. But if you get them as real people, it's probably the most prolific thing that you'll hear. And it's unfortunate that you don't cut promos. For example, I in the beginning of TRSS early on, we had Amazing Red on. Red is not a fucking promo guy. If you ever heard him try to cut a promo, it's like, yikes, this shit is painful.
No,
but if you've ever heard him have conversations, or like he had on the show where he was on an interview, he's a fucking interesting dude. He's charismatic. Homicide doesn't really cut promos like that. And he knows his strengths and his weaknesses. He already knows if once he starts cutting a promo, he's going to say fuck or something. So he doesn't really do it. But if you have a conversation, he's like, holy shit, this fucking guy's interesting. Some people are just not built to be on the mic, but at least train them or teach them to have certain measures that you don't have to say much. Just say enough to be captivating.
You know what I care about?
To be captivating.
You know what I want to see? You know what I care about seeing more than a great promo? It's one word, I'll tell you. Effort. effort.
Yeah.
Show me you fucking care. Show me you fucking care. Don't just walk out with your shoulders down and that you don't fucking like to be at work tonight and that you want to fucking go home and eat pork chops. No, I want you to fucking walk out with charisma, with a sense of I'm going to own the mic right now like a fucking rap battle, like B Rabbit, son. And fucking own the fucking mic time you have. Take advantage of that 10 minutes, man. You don't know when you're not. You never know when you're gonna get that moment again to shine, dog.
You know, it was a funny one that came to me, and it was recent too. I was listening to Thunder Rosa's promo on AEW, and I go, that sounds like someone who's trying way too hard.
She's trying way too hard.
It sounds like you're trying way too hard.
And sometimes trying too hard sucks.
Yeah, it does, and people don't understand.
Balance.
And you know, people will go, oh, I can do a podcast, or I can do this, I can do that. No, you can't.
You fucking can't.
One of the best compliments that I got from a wrestler who came to me. He's like, "Wow, you could cut promos." It's like, why you never became a manager or anything? I was like, I never thought about it. I never really wanted to do that. It's just the ability to talk seems like it's a natural thing to do, but it really isn't. This past week, our people's at quite frankly, the Howard Stern podcast, they had a former Howard Stern employee. They had Richie Wilson, and yeah, he worked for Howard TV and shit like that. And I'm listening to the conversation, the interview that they had, and I'm going, perfect, because it doesn't sound like people are over talking each other. It doesn't sound like people are trying to dominate the conversation. It sounds like a conversation, and it sounds like people who are interested in hearing each other's side. When it comes to promos, your whole thought process is, I want to sell myself, but I don't want to be overselling. I don't want to use, a verbiage that's going to be over your head. I don't want to be talking over you or down to you. I want to talk to you. Even if I'm a heel, I want to talk to you. And I think that gets missing when it comes to a lot of wrestlers. Well, I'm kind of interested. What the fuck is happening? She's in the swing. Oh, okay.
I'm done with Raw. I can't.
I don't know. I have to look at this again. I'm gonna have to check that.
The sex swing.
But no, it's not. Shut up. So, like, who in this day and age, who's your top promo guys right now?
Nobody.
Really? Come on, MJF gotta be.
Nah, honestly,
MJF gotta be up there.
Huh?
MJF, he has to be up there.
Yes, MJF. I think Cody has a good promo.
Yeah, Cody has a great promo. I fuck with him.
I fuck with Cody. Cody's a great promo. Ethan Page cuts a pretty damn good promo for his age.
Adam Cole's
a good promo.
Adam Cole.
I think
Pat McAfee. That was another one that brought us to the level of conversation, because it's like, how is this guy not even a wrestler, but he could, because that's what people's gifts are. Even if I'm not a wrestler, I swear to God that if I went into the middle of a ring and I had to cut a promo on somebody, I would be legit solid.
You think so?
Of course.
Yeah, you knock that down.
I have yet to hear anybody, and I know people will hate on us and anything, but I have yet anybody to tell me you're not great on the mic. Yeah, I've had promoters and everybody, and not to shine ass or whatever, because OVR is a fucking lowly turnbuckle tabloid bullshit wrestling podcast that is trying to get in whatever the fuck that people say under their breath. But when it came to being a legit person on the mic, they'd be like, yo, nah, you good money. But yeah, I would tell you that I've heard, I've listened to myself, and I even known of myself when I do the wrestling commentary. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? That's not me.
Right.
I'm acting. And my whole perception would be, should I do that again if the attention comes to me to say that, yeah, you should do more commentary. Should I? If the calling comes to me to say you should do that again, should I be me or should I do the acting guy? I don't know. I have to try that out. But promos aren't easy. What was the most uncomfortable thing with you when it came to like getting on the microphone?
I don't. Just knowing that people are going to be listening and judging, I guess, it kind of was like, all right, well, I gotta make sure I sound right. I gotta make sure what I say, I don't say anything fucked up. I've said some shitty things on this show before.
Really? I think that was the purpose of the show.
No, I know, but like one time I said something really bad. I didn't sit well. Like just knowing that I'm being recorded at first was like a little uneasy, but I got used to it quick. But I just think that if you're signed by a major company like WWE and Impact, like they should be checking that as well, right? I feel like they're missing a part of the inspection because they're bringing some of these dudes up to the main roster, and it's like, okay, he passed the wrestling check. Oh, great in-ring worker. Let's go. Another check. Promo.
Right.
Let's skip right over that. What kind of boots do you wear? Sometimes I feel like they genuinely just skip that fucking process. It's not a big deal anymore. I think promo school is as important as in the ring. It's a 50-50 for me. You cannot be in this business and succeed without cutting a good promo. You can't, unless you have a fucking manager that's a chance. You should be able to reliably cut a promo and not have to fucking go through Matt Riddle shit. Let's get toasted.
It's about bringing in the money. That's all it's about. Bring in the money. That's all.
Yeah, you know what bringing the money, Red? What Jonathan Coachman said to do. Take a fucking risk. Take that script that they give you and say, you know what, I'm going to cross this out. I'm going to put this. I'm going to be more emotional with this. Use it as your workshop, son. Stick to the idea of what the promo's about. But take a fucking risk. You don't think Stone Cold didn't? Stone Cold took so many risks, and he is one of the most.
Matt, wait, what the fuck? This is a commercial or this is real?
Oh no, this is a commercial. It's Drew McIntyre versus 2020.
Oh, okay. It's a commercial.
Yes.
Oh, I got scared. I was like, oh.
Look, Drew's cutting a promo on it.
Oh, okay. Oh shit.
Wait, get ready for it. Keep looking at the screen. Get ready. Guess who comes out? 2021.
Oh, okay. I got scared. I was like, oh my god. I thought it was like some shit, legit raw shit. Oh, okay.
Nope. Look. Here comes 2021. Up.
Oh, okay.
Look, no, there it is.
Okay, that's
Yikes.
cute. All right, that's cute. I swear, I thought it was a match. I got fucking scared. But
fucked you up for a second.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? But
I thought Raw was already bad.
best motherfucking wrestling to cut a promo is fucking Santa Claus, man.
Yes, facts.
No,
sell those reindeer.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not even gonna like close out with the whole idea of who's your best promos of all time because we've had these conversations before.
I want my best promo to come in the future. I want to look forward to amazing promos. I don't want to be like, oh, like we're not gonna hear a good promo because we can. I just think that, like I said, to close it out for me, I just think that you have to take what you're given, the opportunity you're given, and really gel with it. You have to make it your own. I'm sick. I don't know if you heard. Red, you weren't listening because you were doing the interview, but I'll tell you another thing that happened on Raw this week. John Morrison literally said, "I'm gonna punch you with no." AJ Styles was like, "Oh, my manager wanted a peanut butter and Morrison sandwich," and then Miz goes, "Well, I'm gonna give you a knuckle sandwich. You want a knuckle sandwich?" And then AJ Styles goes, "I'm gonna throw you on 2 pieces of bread and flim flam you around. You want me to do that?" And then the Miz goes, "I can't even." He says something else about a sandwich, and then finally, Miz had to break them up. Are you
Let's
fucking
let's
kidding
save
me?
it for next week because it's
I'm just saying because that's a perfect example about what the fuck is wrong.
well
You have
because
mixed
this is
TV.
once again it's because what the company tells you to do. You have to tote the line.
Well, AJ Styles says peanut butter and Morrison sandwich.
AJ was never the best promo in Impact,
Yeah,
but
but I want to put soap in my mouth after listening to that
but
shit.
he can cut a promo. Edge, another great fucking promo guy. Drew has been showing that he's a great promo guy. Like he's building up to that. The Hardys, the only Hardy that you could really talk to who cuts a promo is probably Matt.
Jeff's a bad promo, son.
And he's only had one or two. And I think it was during that Undertaker run that he cut a like genuine promo. No one could be Ric Flair. No one could be CM Punk. No one could be fucking Stone Cold or Rock. No one can do that. But at least, like you said,
your own, though.
but at least try something. Hell, fucking Bray Wyatt. I don't even remember him cutting a promo in a ring recently. But even when he did, when he was in NXT or when he was just legit Bray, he fucking was awesome.
He made it his own.
Yeah.
He invested in his character. Everyone take notes. I want everyone to get their notebooks out. You invest in your character.
You know what? I'm gonna do
that
it. Just as another question I'm gonna put out there in fucking Facebook world, and I know nobody's gonna respond. But any case, I'm gonna put out there who's the best promo right now in wrestling, and then we'll have a look see of what it is. And here we go. Oscar and Charlotte have a beef. Whatever. Fuck. All right. I'm sorry, but I know we're doing a thing. But guys, when we come back, we're gonna have our conversation with Hank Flanagan. We're talking about the year in review as well as much more. And yeah, guys, I'm just disappointed because the end of the year of wrestling should be on a high note, but it's really not. So, Olskey, as always, we'll talk to you soon.
Later, bro.
Later.
Girls, let's go. We gotta go to dance. This is Good Dad Angel here. When I'm not taking my girls to dance, I'm listening to Turnbuckle Tabloid. Cause I'm a mook.
Yeah, exactly right. You dropped the Flanders, right. After fucking years of me telling you it's time to go.
I appreciate it. Some people in the industry, especially people who've known me for a long time,
They still call you Flanders?
Yeah, well, you know, it's like Terry Funk still calling McFoley Cactus.
Well, okay, yeah, it's true. I could see that.
Well, a lot of the guys, you know, as it's not a secret about me, you know, day at a time kind of stuff, right? It's not a secret. Back in the day where you were looking at pictures of me being real thin, a lot of reasons I was real thin because I wasn't eating, I was drinking and putting God knows what into my body that I didn't need. So a lot of the times I would meet people that in the last in 2019 I've seen, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember it. I remember meeting. It was like I look at pictures, I was like, oh my God, I was in that match. You know what I mean? Like, and
but that's funny because, you know, as a drinker, everybody knows, like, towards the night of drinking, the one thing you would do is always you hit the diner or you hit that you go into that kitchen, you start making the weirdest shit because the body starts wanting to eat something once you had a night of drinking. How was it that you weren't able to put on weight from that?
Drinking?
Yeah.
Well, people think that alcoholics just become fat, right? And that's not true. A lot of alcoholics do become fat. But some alcoholics stay, you know, it's just like, my friends used to joke, like, he's like, Marty's skinny because he's an alcoholic. He's like, because it's like all I was doing was drinking, you know? And I didn't gain any weight, but
It's like fucking alcohol and keto that you were on or some shit.
No,
before
it wasn't
was,
on it. No,
like before it was fashionable.
No,
you had
it was
keto
it
shit.
was alcohol. And remember the deli around the corner where we used to live around the corner from each other?
Yeah.
On Seneca.
On Seneca, yeah.
That was my diet. It was beer and sandwiches from that deli. That was my. So when people
they make great sandwiches.
Yeah, they did for real.
Awesome. Yeah.
The 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hell
meal.
yeah.
Chicken, bacon,
the bangers,
chipotle mayo. Oh, bro,
the bangers. I miss living over there.
Yeah, it was really convenient, bro. 24 hours a day.
Hell yeah.
Open 24 hours a day.
I can get a chicken breast sandwich and a 40 of OE and whatever.
That's exactly what I got. It was sad. Sometimes I couldn't afford my 22 Heineken.
It was like,
no,
the balance in the weight.
Yeah, the balance is like, all right, I need to eat something.
But you started off with
changing the name, yeah.
Changing the name, and then we
the world
I don't
stopped.
know. Kobe died, and it just seemed like it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, exactly. I think Kobe died and went downhill. What else? What else happened? Kobe died. We lost a lot of great ones this year. Not even because of COVID, but like Eddie Van Halen, Kobe.
Yeah. Pat Patterson just
died today.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Pat too. A lot of my favorite stuff comes directly from his brain.
Right.
Directly from like my favorite things in wrestling come directly from his brain.
Yeah.
And I know that's we talk about gifts we give to the world, and your little dent in it, and he gave me, God bless you, brother. He gave me a lot of entertainment when I was a child. I didn't like the shit stained underwear though, but
no, but you know what?
I'm sure he found it funny.
You know what fucking pissed me off, and especially we talking about the Kobe thing, and with Pat aligned with it was we had these individuals who passed away, right? And you always got to find this one motherfucker in that circle, one or two motherfuckers who will sit there and got to find a negative about the person and then bring it back to like when Kobe passed away was
the rape
wasn't he
case.
accused of exactly like
Eddie Van Halen. Like I couldn't find one bad thing about Eddie Van Halen. He apparently like may have slapped Valerie Bertinelli.
Right, like wasn't he a wife beater? And then with Pat Patterson, wasn't he like a groomer for up and coming wrestlers at the time? Mm-hmm. And I go, what the? I said, you guys are no different than the media.
No.
When you find out that someone was shot, especially a minority, when you find out that someone was shot, killed, or whatever the case may be, or how it happened, and the first thing you bring up is their past.
I only bring that up when their past has directly to do something with their shooting, right?
But it's always about this thing about a father too who's trying to make a better life for himself. He's working a messenger service with blah blah whatever the case may be. Was killed.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the articles, he had a rap sheet. But it's like he was released from prison from 2009. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. But if this dude was like, he had a rap sheet 10 miles long and was doing some shit while he got shot.
That's different. That's different. But then, like I said, you bring up this whole...
You got to look at everything at a case-by-case basis.
But the first thing that you want to bring up is like, wasn't Pat Patterson accused of trying to molest wrestlers and to get themselves booked? I was like, this is what we're reaching for now these days?
Well, I mean... there was accusations, and I don't know what happened to.
And like I said, all that was alleged. Nobody said anything, and it was whatever.
I mean, Mel Phillips was like, we like that dude, Mel Phillips. You ever hear about him?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like he was because they're gay wrestlers, I guess, hang out with gay wrestlers, I suppose. And he's like, but he was like a legit child molester.
But it was also
like
thing to
a
where
piece of shit.
Yeah, but there's also thing to where
he was fired, and
it was also thing to where it wasn't hidden. That Pat was gay. Everybody knew he was gay.
No, it was like an open secret. Like he didn't say it out. Like,
yeah, he didn't wear it on his sleeve. It's just like
he came from a time where it was just like, yeah, we know, but it's not like he's going around telling everybody.
But even so, it's like he didn't wear it as a gimmick. He didn't put it on his sleeve. It wasn't. He went out there. He wrestled. What it was, and even as a booker or an agent, whatever his role was, people knew about it, and. If he was that kind of guy that was going to be progressively this aggressor or whatever, it's like, the reason why I didn't get booked for this match is because I didn't, give him a BJ or whatever. Are you guys?
Then he didn't deserve the spot in the first place.
Yeah, but it also seems as though that a lot of the guys who did accuse of this is like, dude, A, like you say, didn't deserve it, or B, you just were bitter because you wasn't their kind of guy. It just, I don't know. Everybody always want to find a flaw with somebody after they're deaf, after they're gone.
That's
And
right.
it's just a weird thing. And speaking of that, we also we seen a lot of it was a fucked up year for deaths. Like we just mentioned, there's like a lot
Eddie
of people.
Van Halen, Chad Gaspard died saving his son.
Wow, that was
Heartbreaking. Absolutely
my
heartbreaking.
God. I mean, it goes to a reflection that 2020 fucking made you
Really made
sit back and look
No,
at yourself and go,
really,
what the
yeah.
fuck do I need to do not to die? Like,
no,
what
it's
am
not
I?
even that. It's just
It's like, what am I do not to die?
it's really, it was really, pun intended, sobering. And I was thinking about, God rest his soul, I was thinking about Matty, and I'm glad
Yeah.
I'm glad you have his voice, because apparently the human brain, like the first thing that'll go in your memories is not their physical form, but you'll forget how they sound. Like I heard that in a 9/11 documentary called Voices from the Towers. There's people calling their loved ones from
Right.
the World Trade Center, on 9/11, and someone said is like the human memory. Well, the first thing that you lose is like how they sound and how their voice. And you have Matty on, you have Matty recorded.
Yeah.
I mean, and you could hear him. And I was just thinking, Matt will forever be, and we spoke about this. Matt will forever be 25.
And when you wrote that to me in a message, my hair stood because, and it's standing now as you said it, because it's such an unfortunate thought, because that's where you left your legacy at, where you could have,
well,
especially for someone like him and individuals like a Kobe or even anybody else who recently passed, who are young and wherever to go. That's your age forever.
Yeah,
that's where
25.
you're at.
He's 25.
And there was so much for you to do.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Well, you see, and maybe we'll get into the metaphysical, religious conversation about it.
God, I hope not. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
The idea of forever being whatever age you are when you die. We say there was so much to do, right? And even if you're not a religious person or a faithful person or a spiritual person, whatever we did yesterday was supposed to happen.
Right.
Right? Because it happened. Mm-hmm. Right? So Matt was supposed to die for whatever reason. Now, you could come up with some kind of reason. People go to church for reasons and answers, and people look to a higher power. I know I do. I could only imagine. And God bless his mother. I went to his wake to tell his mother that she raised a good man. Because
do you guys have a good relationship?
We were cordial. I wouldn't go as far with like, oh, we were friends or anything, because that would be dishonest. But I remember the last conversation I had with him, and it was very, very pleasant. I went to a House of Glory show, and he was very close with the Amazing Red, and he was like, "Yo, bro, like, after training, like, we mark out to your shit." Like, I was like, "Oh, come on, bro." Like, and Matt was such a storyteller. I never knew what he was like. I don't know if he was like
being
working,
genuine or not. Yeah.
Working, because we've all been there, And he's like, no, for real, like, you should go talk to him. You know what I mean? Because we would love to have you back. It's like we were talking about, like, you being a champion here. It's like, like, son, you had the crowd. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't. Like, and he was really putting me over. And I reached out to him after, because I reached out to Red and it didn't work out. And I was like, yo, bro, like, I did it. I know your friend. He's like, yo, bro, but at least you went, like a man, you put yourself out there.
And it's
like,
crazy because he ended up being in the same doghouse.
Yeah,
that you were with.
Yeah, and I was in. And, to be taken for somebody, and it was just like, and I went up to the site and I was just like, this is fucking terrible. Like, it was just so fucking terrible. Like, you know what I mean? Because then I get into the logistics of how this happened. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, and the size of the truck, and it was just like, this is like, and God bless him. I'm glad he was with us for the time he was with us, and if people have bad feelings about it, I had there was another guy in House of Glory that had passed away, and there's a reason I'm going to talk about all this stuff here, because we'll get to that in a minute. But this guy Vinny, who The Vinny the Voice. Do you remember him?
I remember.
Yeah.
Him.
So I remember he had I had fallen asleep at the wheel of his car on a trip from Maine, and I scratched up his car. It was his wife's car, and we were kind of on the outs, and he had died a week later. So,
oh wow, I didn't know it was that close.
He had died a week later, and I was with my woman at the time, and she was a little relieved that I was relieved of this burden. And I made a promise, a very personal promise to myself, that when the time comes that I'll rectify that mistake, or rectify that, because we were, and I remember looking at him, his body, because by that, I don't know, me personally, I believe we all have souls. Even if you don't believe, I believe you have a soul.
Right.
And I'm just looking at his body, and I remember apologizing to him for what was going on between us, between him and I, because even if like you're a great person and all that stuff, someone could die tomorrow that you have a problem with, or that you don't even like, that you don't like.
Right.
And the reason I bring this up, I on my way here, after work, I was just looking for parking, and I drove by the place I was living at, because it was the first place I lived after I left my mother's house, or when I was thrown out of my mother's house. And, House of Glory was around the corner, and I was just like, how much I've grown, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And today is my last day in my 20s. And I'll be 30 tomorrow.
Wow,
and,
you are an old fuck.
Yeah, so, but I remember very clearly around the corner doing this for the first time, and it's almost like I don't even though I still like the same stuff, and I'm the same, like the superficial stuff. Not that it's superficial, it's a part of who I am, but my core values and who I am is not the same guy that spoke to you 7 years ago.
When we first started doing this,
absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I look at even just the stuff I was doing in wrestling back then. I was just like, well, I wouldn't, and that's just due to growth. And 2020, Matt passing away, a breakup I had this year, is all important life experiences. And at this, like, in program, they talk about responsibility. And it's like, I am responsible. And I remember about a month ago, I'm borrowing a car. I'm borrowing a car, and it's an old beater, and it's okay. It's got me from place to place for now, until I get my truck. And so it was in the shop, just needed work done, right? So I was taking car service to work, right? So I'm in this lift in the morning. It was the Lyft driver. He was driving me to work, right? And I don't know what made him say this, right? But he was like, "Hey, bro, like, I'm sorry for, I know that, I'm sorry if you're running late. You know what I mean? Traffic on Queens Boulevard." And I said, "No, brother, that's not your fault. That's this guy's fault." And I pointed at myself. And I was like, you can't control. I know there's traffic on Queens Boulevard in the morning. If I wanted to get, I wasn't late, but if I wanted to get to somewhere where I wanted to be early, it's my job to get there. Yeah. To my job. And he said to me, he's like, I said to, he's like, bro, I got to start taking responsibility myself. Taking responsibility. He really like resonated with him, and he's just like, because when I get out at 7 o'clock in the morning compared to like 5 o'clock in the morning, I see it in my check. And it's just like, it's all up to me. There are certain things that you cannot control, but what you can control is the person in the mirror.
Well, but the thing, especially as us as males, as men,
right?
Many of us don't know how to own up to our own shit.
Then give me your man card.
Right. And that goes with growth. I'm not gonna say that I was so profound.
Excuse me. You always seem to me, even when you were wrong, to be a guy and you've admitted here on live to people, to your audience, to even off the cameras, off to my personally, you've admitted when you were wrong or when you could think differently about something.
Right.
You know?
And like I said, and it's not like I said, I can't say that I was so profound that in my younger age that I knew what it was. But there were times when even at your age, younger or the case may be, that I can identify and be like, yeah, I could say I fucked up, or maybe this is not the idea I should share with people or the thought process, whatever. But it becomes more of a signature to yourself when you are able to do that on a older basis. When you sit there and you look at it and you can say, yeah, I'm not perfect. I do. Listen, my whole comedic outlook is always this. Even when I'm wrong, I'm fucking right. Because I'll find a way to be right. I'll find it.
Should have got into litigation.
Exactly, I should have. But at the end of the day, yeah, I can say, yeah, I fucked up. I said some dumb shit, or I told somebody some dumb, or I did some dumb. Yeah, you come to that bridge.
When I used to get
but a lot of
out
people
myself,
don't know how to do that. Yeah, but a lot of people don't know how to do that.
When I used to get out of myself, sometimes I would keep my mouth shut, right? Because you would get paranoid. So I was like, let me just keep my mouth shut and not stay in my own head. Sometimes when I was having a conversation with somebody, I would notice when they put their foot in their mouth or were embarrassed by what they said. And I was like, oh, so this is what it's like on the other end.
That's always,
and it's amazing.
And that's always the one thing that I've known since I was a kid is I never want that feeling of embarrassment, or the terminology is douche chills. When you see somebody or you hear somebody, you watch someone get into a predicament, and you're like, yeah, you're fucking yourself up right now. You're really not you don't sound good right now. You're not doing something properly. You get that feeling, and you always should put in your memory bank, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that person. And a lot of times, and like I said, and I have to put in the situation as us as males, because we always work, and you're definitely that fucking guy. I'm a little bit more of a fucking soft alpha than you are, but you're a strong alpha. And as an alpha, you don't want to come off like you're wrong. You can't you don't know what it is to say that I'm not correct on what I've been doing at that moment.
I can't know everything.
Right.
I'm not going to know everything.
Right. Guys, if you guys want to listen to the rest of this, you better make sure
I didn't even finish making my point.
Wait a minute. No, I got to cut it off. You got to make
Fine.
sure you download and stream, and especially this episode, because when Hank comes in for Hank's Happy Hour, especially for a year in review, you got to make sure you check it out. So, guys, thank you for being a part of it and partaking on our live stream. And for the rest of you guys who are listening now, there's much to come. See you guys later. I'm glad that you brought the mics went off for a second, but I'm glad you brought something up, which you're part of growth is to where there's a lot of, and I always equate it to males, because we as men don't always get that education from each other, because there's something with this man on man approach to how we see each other. It's always about, I got to conquer. I got to be bigger than him. I got to be better than him. I got to do that. And a lot of times they don't really understand that there is a dialogue that needs to happen with us, because we need to educate each other. Because women, as it may look as though they can be very catty amongst themselves.
It's their survival mechanism.
But they also learn from each other with that, because they are very observant and they watch how others move. Whereas men, we're like fucking cavemen. It's like, oh, I beat rock and rock make fire. I don't need man to help me do that. No, we got to learn from that. So the one thing that you had to before the mics went back on was the idea of looking at someone and being jealous and being,
bitch.
Unappreciative of what we can do.
Yeah, bitch.
But please explain what bitch is.
Just like, these are just they're men in they're not men. Excuse me. Let me that's a prestigious title, man.
When you hear that, fuck him.
No,
fuck what he.
No, man. Is
no, but that's what it is.
Title,
when you hear somebody like,
like,
fuck him.
Yeah, no, like there's a difference. Like, yeah, fuck him, or it's just like, man, like, look, fuck him. What happened to him? It's like, man, look at him on TV and stuff like that, and banging all the bitches. Like, who do you think he is? Like, I find myself whenever I look at somebody and I'm just like,
But were you like that before?
yeah, of course I was, because I didn't have what they want. Seriously, like, I had a really, like, there's a point in time, if you're not a man, you're a bitch. Straight up, you're a fucking bitch, right? And like, one of my favorite things in any movie is in the Karate Kid. He goes, Dennison, always look eye, always look eye,
Always look eye.
always look eye, always look somebody in the eye, right? Always look somebody in the eye. And we spoke about Donald Trump and President Trump, and
We'll get to that in a minute.
and where he's looking at the teleprompter, right? I didn't watch the whole. He had a press conference. He's looking in the camera for like he's looking in the camera, and I don't know if he's reading off. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But I was really glad that I could see him face to face, because I really like the guy. But look at us. You and I are looking eye to eye.
And it's always tough for me to do that because of my visual condition. I have an insecurity about that.
Oh, poor baby.
Shut the fuck up. Go ahead. What is it?
Weren't you just talking about a woman before? Like, come on. I read that too. Women a lot of times don't. It's not about, it's not about a rich guy. It's not about what he has, because you see plenty of rich guys out there who have no women, who have nothing. You know what I mean? They're like, they think that they could buy women, right? They could buy, like, it's not about what you have. It's about what you possess in yourself to obtain what you have, which is what's attractive, right? And that's not just attractive to women; it's attractive to other men too. It's just like, like, oh, how are you doing? So, it's not like jealousy is just like, really, when you break down to it, when you Freud it up and you really get to the nitty and gritty and the meat and potatoes of it, it's just like, I want what he has. I would like to experience some of the pleasure and joy he's experiencing, or and I would like some of that in my life. And instead of working for it,
well, jealousy is a weakness. I remember in the
bitch.
In the Biggie song, where the beginning of the song it starts with jealousy's a motherfucker, you weak, jealous motherfuckers. It's because there's one thing to look at somebody and try to equate that to something that you want to strive to, and which is envy. Envy is healthy. That's a healthy emotion to have. I
want to be where he's at.
I want to be where he's at. Exactly. I want to get to that level. Envious is a good feeling to have. Jealousy is basically, that's how a lot of motherfuckers die. This is how a lot of people are killed. This is how a lot of motherfuckers get caught up in bullshit, because you're jealous of what the next man has. You should never look at somebody's lawn and think that I want my lawn to be like that, so I'm gonna burn that shit down so that my lawn is better than his after I burn your shit down.
He shouldn't have it.
Oh, he shouldn't have it.
You know what I don't understand is, like, what I understand.
Show me how your lawn got that way so my lawn could be that way too.
Now, we're talking about, like, people talk about, like, oh, let's tax the rich. They have enough. They have enough, right? Who are we to say that they have enough? Because to them,
I can. I can. I'll give you 10,000 ways to say what it is.
So go get it.
Right. Yeah, and
so go get it.
But with that, the other thing that goes along with it is that with the growth that you get from it.
Now, hold on that point.
Right.
And
no, but I'm saying,
I'm a very conservative guy, fiscally conservative, socially.
No, but I'm saying, but the growth that comes from it.
Yeah.
How did you implement that this year to your progression as not only in your personal life, in your professional life?
Because I want to go somewhere and do something and be somebody.
But for the past years, you've been saying that you've been jealous and you've been saying fuck him for what it was.
I was a bitch. He's acting like a bitch.
Listen,
I don't know why nobody said anything about it.
When I started the podcast,
I wouldn't have survived prison. Let me tell you.
Oh no.
Or it would have come out the most jacked dude in the world.
When I started the podcast, I would look at other podcasts and I'm like, what the fuck are you? Are you kidding me? Why the fuck are they getting followers or listeners? This is bullshit. Literally, I'll go on the mic and I will bash the shit out of these guys. It wasn't until, and mind you, like I said, I'm an older individual. I shouldn't have these thoughts. And it wasn't until later on I said, you know what? I can't do that anymore. That's just, although it is funny material, but it's wasted energy. And I always think that's what it becomes. That's what it becomes. Wasted energy.
Energy is people think it's time.
That energy should be put to bettering yourself than thinking about the next man and what the fuck they're doing.
I follow this guy Wes Watson, right? He was in the penitentiary. He was in the penal system in California for a long time. Did a 10-year bid, right? And I bought his workout program, and he's really changed my life.
Right.
And just the way he that's where I got that act like not act. Be like I have a set of balls in between my legs. All right. That's a privilege. Right. That's a legit privilege. I was born to be a man, and I have to act accordingly. Period. That's it. I don't have to, because everybody, as soon as, but that's an excuse, and nobody wants to hear excuses.
But did you really look at somebody else's wrestling career and was like,
yeah,
what the fuck
absolutely. I don't care about that anymore. I'm not focused on them. I told the kids.
I have to go back to other.
I'm working with children right now, right?
Yeah, I have to go back to other Hank's Happy Hour hours and see and listen to see if that's how you were back then.
Absolutely. You don't even have to. I'm telling you. I'm telling you that's how I was. I told I'm working with children, and it's a temporary job right now. With the COVID going on, and they were talking about cheating, right? And there were two groups, and they're cheating, and I said, kids, winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners.
Yeah,
winners focus on winning.
Definitely.
I'm not worried about this dude. I'm worried about me and what I'm going to do, and I'm going to take care of people. I'm going to take care of people I don't like. You know what I mean? I'm going to work with people I don't like. I'm going to work with people I like, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, he has this, and fuck him. All right, fine, fuck him. Do something about it.
Yeah,
do something about it. Because a lot of people cut promos on Facebook. And it's like,
not only in wrestling, in life.
Go to
not only wrestling, but on life, people are cutting promos.
It's just like, dude, put a microphone in front of your face and make money.
Right.
But, I'm going to take my own advice and do that, because I was just very tired of being a bitch. Just very tired. I was very tired.
When did that awakening occur? Like, when did you start self-evaluating?
I mean, really, it started last year. It's a slow process. It's not like overnight. It's not. I don't think people become evil overnight. I don't think people become good overnight. I don't think people. It's not a. You go into the hyperbolic time chamber and come out in a day, which would be fantastic if we could do that.
Great DBZ reference.
Appreciate it, but. It's a lot of reading. It's a lot of working out. It's a lot of, do what's hard. Do what's hard, because it's easy to, again, Wes Watson said, and I'm quoting directly from him. I don't know where he's quoting it from, but it was great advice. It's like people talk about like, oh, when I make $1 million or when I do this, I'll get in shape, or when I have the time. It's just like, right now.
Yeah, just do it. Stop making the excuse.
It's just like, well,
stop making the excuse.
Now, and I've done that, and it's brought tears to my eyes. Like, now, because it makes me feel like, and not to say that you shouldn't look back and be like, okay, this is the mistakes I've made. It just makes me reevaluate the decisions I've made as a younger man. It's just, I get it. It's just maturity, and a lot of people. Miss that mark. And I'm not saying I'm getting it all now, but, I don't want to be a gentleman, even 31. I'm going to be 30 tomorrow. I don't want to be.
Was it because that was the milestone that you saw? That
No. I was thinking.
Because a lot of people do that. They're like, oh,
no.
By the time I'm 30, I need to do this.
No. By the time I'm today, I need to do this.
Yeah.
By the time I'm today.
And that's
and money today.
And to me, I look at
at it. No, you're not popping for the Goodfellas reference?
No.
Fuck you.
You know why? Because for me, it's always profound when you get it from the.
I mean, you've helped me out. You've said a lot of profound things. Listening, and not to say that you've you gave me all the answers, or this person gave me all the answers, but it's like, all right, there's things I disagree with and things I agree with.
Right.
The name change, I was like, man, fuck him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I feel better personally about it. Not to say that I wasn't proud of my work as Hank Flanders. Right. I was very proud of my work, but I've matured.
But what I'm saying, what comes with growth comes from places that you didn't know it would come to you. Like you say, you're getting from this gentleman, like you're getting it from there. You'll get it from possibly a fucking meme. It could always come from somewhere that you're meant to see it, and it comes your way, and you'll go, holy shit, you're fucking right. Like, wow, this affirmation, this thought was meant for me to see it, or read it, or hear it, and yeah. But it also comes to how it correlates with your personality, because there's just certain people whose personality would never fucking get it. They will never see it.
You want to grow or be stubborn?
That's what it becomes, and it's troubling.
And I'm already a stubborn Irish Puerto Rican. I am stubborn, but I've used that trait,
and it's a curse because you're Irish and you're Puerto Rican and you're stubborn. It's a triple threat of nonsense.
Yeah. So I'm going to use that trait and be stubborn about positive things.
Right.
I'm not going to break character. I'm going to have a set of core values that I'm not going to break. You know what I mean? Like, who am I when the chips are down? Who am I when, I have done this? You know what I mean? Like, I used to think it would be cool. This is how crazy I was. I would be cool. Like, I would learn boxing, right? And if anybody ever stepped to me at a bar, like, I'd be able to knock them out, right? Say I knock that guy out, and that guy ends up in a coma, and he's got a little kid at home that he can't take care of, or I kill him, and I end up doing 15 to 20, and his family just lost a son over a stupid argument. You know what I mean? The power of walking away. I used to think that shit was cool. I used to think that, like, I used to think crazy things. Like, when I get older, I'm going to put this on my body. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be about this, and this is the life that I'm going to live, and just dark stuff. Right. Really dark stuff. And, just thinking about, like, a lot of young men, and it's okay if... I've met a lot of people who are half and half of something and gravitate toward another thing. I gravitate toward being Irish. I'm very proud of it. And not that I'm not proud of being Puerto Rican.
No, you didn't really gravitate to that dumb match. No, you really don't. Yeah. And you know what? And I would love to...
I just said Pastella. Shut the hell up. Fuck you.
You did? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did. Of course I did. I loved it.
I think in 2021, I think that's going to be one of my goal conversations with you for Hank's Happy Hour. I probably want to do it open. It's to go into more your Puerto Rican style, your Puerto Rican.
Latino. Let me tell you something. It's a very funny story. Obviously, it involves a woman, right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm on the road one time, and there was a very beautiful woman driving a car, and a fellow wrestler. You were talking about heritage, and everybody's in the car is Latino, right? And I'm the only guy who's European, right? And he's like,
"You're not, though."
Shut the fuck up. Listen. So he was making that exact point, right? And I was just like, "Yeah, my dad's Irish," and he's like, "Yeah, but you're Puerto Rican." He's gay, dude. I really gave voice. I'm sorry. He's like, "Yeah, but you're Puerto Rican, though." And I was like, "Yo, why do Latins do that? Like every time, like they're like, oh, someone's like a percent, like they did with Jessica Alba. Who else did do it? It's like, no, you're one of us." And this sexy woman goes, "We're very proud people."
But it sucks because everybody's a proud people, though.
But I was just like, if I look like a fucking catcher's mitt, I'd be like, yeah, he's Irish. If I wasn't tall and handsome and intelligent and well-spoken.
No, but honestly...
Listen, no, there's been there's not
benefits. That's where I would really want to see a growth for the next year.
Asshole.
It's true, though.
Shut the fuck.
We've been battling this for years.
For what? Like, no, but for what, though? Like, why can't I just be happy in my own skin? Really, honestly, it's just like, no, but this. But the
first thing that you put up profoundly is like, Irish.
Ireland.
Ireland from the soul. Have you gone to Puerto Rico?
I would love to.
But you've been to Ireland, right?
I don't like the heat.
Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yo.
That's
I
bullshit.
know. I get pissed because sometimes in the summer I was like, I'm half Puerto Rican. I should be chilling right now.
Oh my god! And it's not even like it's it's like a percentage.
No, my mother.
Fucking half.
My mother is Puerto Rican.
Go your ass to San Juan and go to and enjoy
Shut up.
the.
Fucking Puerto Rican.
It's so.
You want to drape me in a flag right now?
No, not only that.
Yes,
I just,
you do. Yes, you do. Shut the fuck up.
But you
Yeah,
know what would be
do.
the greatest gimmick though is that for the next year that you
I should.
fucking, you
You know what I was
switch up
thinking- you know what I was
and
thinking
you're
about doing one day?
and you come out to fucking Big Pun 100%.
No,
it'd be fucking hilarious.
Dude, every New York Puerto
Of
Rican wrestler.
course, man, it'd be great if you did that. It'd be great.
I wanted-
and then
you
you
know what I
fucking
want?
and then
I
you like
wanted
you
to
do a
do-
shit where you throw the flag and you show your Irish flag.
No. I wanted to do that. So I wanted to in House of Glory. I wanted a tag team with Sonya Strong because it's a typical wrestling storyline. People fight and then they
Right.
respect each other and become a tag team. So I wanted to do that with Sonya Strong and she puts would do a promo where she's like, "Come on, baby, aren't you Puerto Rican?" And she's
Yeah.
like, no, but she's
And you
so
fight
good
it,
and I'm fighting it, and it's just like, and then she takes me by the hand and she brings me out to
And he's
some
like,
Hector-
Agua di
I was thinking Hector Laveau. And she's like, she comes out, right? And it'd be cute if on Patty's Day we dressed her up in green and stuff like that. Oh man.
That would have
Maybe-
been great. That would have
yeah.
been. But no,
I didn't have a mind for wrestling.
But for 2021, I do want to. I want to.
Shut
I
up.
want to look into that, man. We should do that.
Fuck up.
Come on.
I know. Listen. I grew up around it, so.
But
And a part of the reason to that too, and we've talked about, is absentee fatherhood. And
But
a
no,
lot-
I also believe
and a lot of
it's
the reason-
resentment to motherhood
No,
as well.
I don't think so. Well, listen. Well, males carry the father's name, and you see, the thing is, I remember somebody telling me one time. He goes, it was this Ecuadorian guy. He was like, "My friend, everybody have mama. No one knows papa." Jesus Christ, bro.
But the other thing is,
Why does this bother you, though?
But
Why does it bother you?
It does. You know why it bothers me? Because we've spoken about it. It's not a secret. We've spoken about it on the show where you do have
A preferential.
no, not a preferential.
Yes.
That there is a disconnect with your mother, and we've spoken about that.
Well, you see, the thing is I love my. A couple of weeks ago, so I've learned how to cook. Right, I've had to. I've done my own for a long time. Had to learn how to cook eventually. That's why I've gained all this weight. You know what I mean? Gained. So I know how to make Irish food. I know how to make. I don't know how to make an Italian dish though. I know how to make typical American food. What I've wanted is all right. So I could cook bacon and cabbage, but I need. I know how to make Irish breakfast really well. I need a rice and bean meal. So I went to my grandparents, and they're getting older. They're close to 80. So I was like, hey, can you come over and make me food? And it was a wonderful Saturday. It was on Halloween actually.
Your Spanish side?
Yeah, and I played the music and no, seriously, I had seriously, I had Hector Laveau on, and then I had Luke Kelly on, and then I played them 50s music.
Oh my God,
I played them Puerto Rican music.
Horrible.
I played Puerto Rican music, I played Irish music, and then I played 50s music because they're from that era. But I learned, I learned how to, I am slamming in the kitchen right now, bro. All women.
I can't hear this.
Why can't you hear this? I went and embraced a part of my heritage.
I had to make sure that I draped make sure that there was a big Puerto Rican flag hanging in my living room, and there was
the tricolor. The tricolor right next to it.
There was the big picture of Hector Lavoe and Jesus, and make sure that Jesus had a darker look than he. What are we talking about? Are we not in? When are you going to actually embrace the fact that yes, you are Puerto Rican?
I have all the time.
No, you don't.
No, you just want me to be one of those flag waving spits around. That's what you want. You want me to drive a small Honda Civic, and right when June comes around.
No,
that's exactly what you want, motherfucker. Yeah, you do. No. You look pretty Irish right now. You look really red.
Because I'm getting red. You gotta put. It's like you gotta put the fucking Big Pun or the fucking Mark Anthony fucking T-shirt on and shit. No,
what, you want me singing Percosia down the fucking street, bro?
I want you to play percussion coming down the block and shit. No.
Yeah, you do. You love that. You love it.
But
yeah,
you
do.
never touch on it though.
What would you like me to touch on?
I think that
honestly, let's talk about it now. We're talking about it now. What would you like me to touch on?
I think there's a big. I think there's a big disconnect because there's a big resentment from your mother's side of the family. I really think
No,
there is.
with my mother, but
Oh, yeah, wait, okay.
Fair
I
enough.
didn't want to fucking target her, but
no, okay, but no, it's not the heritage. It's not. It's the person.
yeah, but okay, but it's still the heritage because you still don't seem to, you know, you don't emulate it. You don't
So
share
what?
it.
So what?
But you do emulate the Irish.
So what?
I
So
think that,
you don't
I
have
think-
an you don't
no,
have
I
an
do
answer.
have I do
Yeah.
have an answer, and I think there is
You know
a
what? You
problem.
know you.
If somebody asks you,
I'm Irish and Puerto Rican. I always tell them.
no, you don't.
Yes,
no, you
absolutely.
don't. So why do you
I
say I'm
fucking
Puerto?
absolutely-
So why do you say I'm Puerto Rican and Irish?
Because
Answer that.
I'm a racist.
Because I get more jobs saying I'm Irish.
You're damn right. Yeah, I had a Puerto Rican friend, right? I have a Puerto Rican friend, right? So, you know, and he jokes about it all the time because he goes, because apparently you're Puerto Rican, right? Because he didn't believe. He's like, apparently you're Puerto Rican, right? So,
It took me like 3 episodes to realize that you were Puerto Rican one way.
So I got in trouble a couple years ago, right? And I had to go to court, and I didn't do anything, and it was just the wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. And so I wore a 3-piece suit. I was a blue. I bought a brand new suit, and not for court, but actually came in handy because I needed it. It really did. So, but I went out and bought. It was my first suit. I was so proud of myself. I bought a blue suit. A blue, like navy blue suit, typical. You know, men have 3 suits: the gray suit, the black suit, and the blue suit.
It's not the burial suit.
It's not the burial suit. So it's a blue suit, white shirt, 3-piece blue suit, white shirt, red tie, right? So he goes, so you look like a little Irish boy who wanted to be a fireman, didn't you? And I was like,
You look
Yes,
like
I
Irish.
did.
No, you look like the Irish boy going to communion.
yes, I did. I got a haircut. I stood under the light because in under the light, sometimes my hair is. I was born with red hair, so sometimes like you know, I stand under the light. You know, I was like, "Hello, sir." Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh God. No, stop.
No,
Listen.
I am proud of being Puerto Rican. I'm proud of being Irish.
No, you're not.
Yes,
Cut
I
it
am.
out. Listen, when you
I
go
looked
to-
you right in the fucking eye and said that.
when you go on the like I said, when you go down and you look at the job application, you put.
White.
Of course you do.
Yes, I do.
Of course you do.
Why?
You don't put other. You don't put
Because I'm not other.
because you know you'll get the. Of course you are other. You're mixed.
No, I'm not other. Race and heritage are two inherently
Whatever.
different
It looks and it gives you the
Fucking Puerto
it gives you
Ricans,
that
Puerto Rican.
it gives you the option of
You know,
having
this is why I
Hispanic-
stayed away.
Is this why you did?
This is why I stayed. This is bullshit right here.
But this and the reason why
You
I say
know, I told myself a couple of years ago I didn't want to end up with an Irish girl or a Puerto Rican girl
why.
because I know what's coming.
Oh, you're gonna end up with a Jew. That's what it's gonna end up. It's gonna be with a
Good,
Jew.
baby. Come
I
balance my
can't wait.
budget.
I can't wait.
Come balance my.
The views.
No,
and,
no.
Hold on. Wait. Let me play this. Wait,
The views expressed on this Turnbuckle Tabloid live stream or
we gotta make sure I gotta play that. No. The reason why
I couldn't end up with the Jew.
I gotta-
I'm too much of a practicing Catholic.
Oh Jesus Christ! Let me make sure I say this again.
A
the
Jewish
views
girl.
expressed on this Turnbuckle Tabloid live stream or Turnbuckle Tabloid podcast.
And the reason why I say this is because
You'll be able to play this. Come on.
No, we'll be able to play. Please.
Please.
There's nobody listens to this shit. Although I'm getting a big fucking the show is getting a big fan base in France. I don't know what the fuck that's getting.
Yeah, hello. Fair play to the French.
There should be Ireland because of you, but you're
Well,
not
no,
helping
no.
that shit.
Well, I mean, now there's people who listen in our. Well, listen. You ever listen to the Blind Boy podcast?
No.
Blind Boy podcast. He's really good. He's part of the Rubber Bandits. You ever heard of the Rubber Bandits?
No.
No, they had Sami Zayn, that left wing asshole.
Wait.
He's a cool
okay.
guy. He's a cool
And
guy.
then here we go, and this is where it progresses to where we're gonna go to.
Yeah, there you go.
2020, ladies and
Election,
gentlemen. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
And this is where I've been avoiding it for the longest.
Why?
Before we go there, we'll go into the first thing about which we had the earlier conversations on Hank's Happy Hour, which was COVID, right?
Right.
And we touched upon it quickly on other episodes, but what's your thoughts about the progression of what happened from the beginning of the year when we talked about it to what it is now?
I think
And talk because I gotta just get something quick. Go ahead.
I think it very much played into the nature of disease. Whereas a lot of people, it is a serious thing and people should take precautions. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but the disease will always kill the weak and elderly first. That's just the nature of disease. And the fact that I don't believe people really understood that is insane, you know? I'm not saying healthy, quote unquote, people can't get sick, but really, bro?
Dealing with you? Yeah.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Ladies and gentlemen, he's pouring Bacardi and orange juice is alcoholic.
That was nothing that I just poured.
Nothing.
It was nothing.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
It's nothing.
That's what they all say.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think... No, so the nature of disease, and I was born in 1990, so that was the height of the AIDS crisis. You were, what, 10 years old, I think, at the time?
Somewhere around the time, yeah. Probably
10,
a little bit younger, yeah.
Yeah, like what, 11, 12 you were at...
in the 80s, when AIDS came out, I was like 6,
You were born in the late 70s, I know, so...
Yeah,
it
was about 6, 7 years
so,
old.
Yeah, so I was born, you were probably like 12 or 13 years old, so you're at the height of the AIDS crisis.
Right.
Right? The nature of disease will always, always kill the weak, the elderly, the infirm, or someone with a minor health problem.
Okay.
Not to say that this isn't serious and people can't have lasting health effects, obviously. So what I read a statistic where the survival rate of COVID now is 99%, somewhere between 88 and 98. Very high in the 90s. Like most likely, if you get COVID, you will survive. Most likely.
Okay.
And I had a conversation with a registered nurse who was still, I think, a part of the CDC, and she said, "Well, Hank."
We almost went shoot there.
Yeah, almost. She goes, "Well, Hank." Wink, wink. She said, "The reason that the survival rate is so high because most of the people who will die from it have already died. And that's a shame. And I really wish we didn't lose anybody. I really wish that people who did die of COVID, I wish that people were able to bury their loved ones.
But that's not true, though. Because we're still...
She's a part of the CDC. What are you talking about?
But listen to what I'm telling you. There's still people dying.
Yeah, there are people dying.
There's still people dying.
Yes, there are. And I'm not saying that they aren't. But, I was playing a game of Risk. You ever played the game Risk?
Yes.
The board game, right?
You play that game forever. It's like Monopoly.
Yeah, but a lot more fun. and Monopoly is fun, but this is way more fun because it's just like they take out the nitty gritty of the money and just be like, "Yeah, let's just fucking fight." Like, let's just go to war. I'm attacking you. Bullshit. I'm taking this land, right? So I was playing with my ex-girlfriend and a buddy of mine, right? And so we have the extra piece at the end. Once you kind of like set up the board and you know where you're at, and like they have the extra piece, like the 30th piece, and he puts his in Quebec, and he goes, "There, population control," and I laughed so hard, and my ex-girlfriend's like, "Population control?" It's like, yeah, I believe we had this discussion that the leaders of the world are just playing a giant game of Risk and just be like, all right, yeah, a couple 100,000 people, 85% of us have to go.
But this
and
is...
that's the thing. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if someone very intelligent was just like, and we've had this conversation that you couldn't air.
Right.
Where over social distancing, someone's like, yeah, we could, but like it would really help us out if some of our undesirable.
All right, now here's the thing. Now,
people think
and this is my thought when it comes to I speak to all these conspiracy theorists and all this shit, and I've gone back and forth. And
what do you think? You're a pretty big conspiracy theorist.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Really?
I'm really
you
not.
Don't think so?
No, I'm not.
We've had plenty of discussions about it.
I've had moments where I've been like, okay, I can see it happening.
Right.
I'm not a big conspiracy theorist when it comes to the fact of how society is these days. 30, 40 years ago, if you're going to tell me this whole shit, like, the whole JFK assassination and all this bullshit with Sirhan when it came to fucking RFK being killed and all this shit, why it was that's one thing. We live in a society in a day and age where there's no more secrets. It's done.
I don't think there were ever secrets.
No, but there's no more secrets where it comes to where the government is so... Everybody's so fucking...
We all have big mouths.
Because everybody wants to be famous for something.
Well, hold on. Also, Did you like Friends? I'm about to
Of course.
really out, really. I loved Friends, right?
I love Friends.
Remember when Joey finds out that Chandler and Monica are dating?
Yeah.
He finds out he's a savant. He can't do anything else. But when people are fucking, he knows.
Yeah.
But when Rachel finds out, he goes, "Oh my God, I've been dying to talk about it, right? Because it's a secret, and it's just like you want to talk, and people." And I was watching the episode of The Nanny, like there was Seinfeld and The Nanny was on, right, and Fran Drescher.
I'm like, I'm talking
sorry.
to a fucking alpha male. And he's talking about Friends, Nanny, and wow, water.
No, Fran Drescher's. Oh my God.
Oh, she's sexy.
Oh, so
even to this day, she still looks good.
Yes, absolutely. Whew.
But in the 60s, she still looks good.
So let me stop thirsting over Fran Drescher right now and talk about the plot of the. I totally forgot about the plot of the episode.
But in any case,
hold on. What was it?
About secrets. It's about.
Oh yeah. So there was Cher was in Mr. Sheffield's house, right? And she couldn't keep a secret, so she told her friend, who was like, "Oh, I only told this guy, and it's a game of telephone." And then all of a sudden, the whole world knows, and everybody's at your door looking for Cher, right? So if the JFK, for example, you just brought up the JFK assassination, or MLK, or any of those famous assassinations, right? 9/11. If any of those were conspiracies, right? If they were planned, don't you think somebody somewhere would have said something?
Right. This is what I'm saying.
Now, here's the thing with JFK. I don't think Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. In MLK, I think not law enforcement, but someone important was just like, this guy needs to, something needs to happen to him,
right? Which is the modern day shit that's happening now.
Who knows? And that's the thing is like who gets to play the game of risk,
right?
It's pro wrestling. It's like I want to see what's happening before. One of the reasons why I was so enthralled with pro wrestling when I was a child, especially when people told me it was fake, or wasn't predetermined, it wasn't real. I came up with the idea in my head when I was a kid that they were really beating each other up, but the finish was planned.
Okay.
Which was kind of what happened in the 60s and 70s, and they worked until the finish.
Right.
And I thought that they were really hitting each other, but whoever hit who first was just like, okay, he hit me, I'm going to lay down for him. That's in my brain. Like,
and it's funny because you said that because I wish I would have brought it up in the previous episode because, that's the way I thought about wrestling as well. I could go through this whole match. It's like calling in the ring. We're going to we're going to do all this stuff. We're going to build this on match, but I'm just know that you're going to go over at the end.
Yeah, so it's like, you're going to beat me in this fight.
Right.
Well,
I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of you. You're going to beat the shit out of me, whatever the case may be. But this is what happens at the end. And that's what I think what it was. But are you trying to equate this to what the fuck
was going on in the world right now? I think it's this. I think pro wrestling has always been a commentary on the world.
Well, your president is that.
He came from pro wrestling. He promoted pro wrestling. Well, you know what he also did promote too? And it all ties into 2020. Combat sport, whether simulated or real, was the first thing to really open in 2020. The first sport on television was combat sport, whether it was mixed martial arts, boxing, or professional wrestling. There was boxing on. The world literally watched Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. do fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, well, yeah. I want to get into that quick, and then we'll go back to because there's something I want to solidify to wrap it up. We go into that.
I don't want to talk about Nate. I don't. Really
no, not that. I'm talking about Mike and Roy itself.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
And what upset me was that people didn't get it. People did not understand what it was to see two men who were such dominant athletes in the 90s to bring it to the stage
25 years later.
Roy did it 3 years ago. That was the last fight. Mike was 15 years. Mm-hmm. And you and I are big Mike fans. We fucking love Mike. And we could talk about Mike for days.
Oh, yeah.
But to see these two guys.
That's an international treasure.
But the idea is that people didn't understand what the fight was about, and it's only a few of us who understand the boxing profession and what it is.
Mike Tyson is a genius.
But not only that, it's a fucking exhibition that people didn't understand that what you wanted was not either man wanted to do. Either man wasn't going into that ring to knock the other person out.
I don't think so. I disagree with you.
Why?
I think as a competitor,
I'll counter that. Go ahead.
If you look into the eyes of both of these men, especially Mike's, after the fight, were they winded? Yeah, they're in their 50s, right? But I was like, all right, at 2 minutes, like they could have gone 10 rounds. Like after looking at him for a while, like like Mike really starts to pick it up in the third round. Like it didn't seem like they were as tired as they possibly.
What the fuck? Oh. Okay.
I'm glad he's been put to use.
Okay.
That's very surprising.
Yeah.
You could talk about that later.
Later. I'll get it to it.
All right.
I'm about to get a phone call soon.
Yeah.
No. The reason why I'm saying is we look at it 2 ways. Number one, we know the Mike from the 90s, from the 80s to 90s. That man was an animal.
Killer. Killer.
He didn't know anything but.
The first time I heard that look in the eyes thing, it's just like that was Tyson. You never took his eyes off his opponent.
The only time that it went away from him was when, and I always say when Cuss and Kevin left, when they weren't there, when he went under that Don King regime. I think he lost.
Don King. I hold Don King responsible for the fall of Mike Tyson, even though Mike is a responsible adult. I'm sure.
But even at that age, Mike was only about 25, 26 years old. He's still he was younger than you.
Yeah.
And all he knew was the money, the flash, the coats, the fucking cars. He didn't know anything about it. He lost the hunger after that.
He didn't have Cuss in his yo.
Once Cuss is gone, once Kevin is gone, Tony Atlas was gone. The whole Mike was done.
Yeah.
And that's when the whole downfall of Mike happened. When you see him,
it's fun.
2020.
I'm frustrated for him. You know what I mean?
But when you see him in 2020, because in the 90s, he would have been known as prolifically. We know him as because I say he's the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Absolutely. I think he's better than Ali.
And I say it to this day.
I think he's better than Ali.
I say it to this day.
And Ali's,
I don't care what
Ali.
anybody tells me. You can even put it in comparison for me because for what he did at that age to whatever it was, Mike was a monster. But he lost it because of the change of regime. What we saw with this fight,
Buster Douglas was supposed to be a tune-up fight.
But he didn't take it that serious, and he just he didn't even train for that shit.
Buster Douglas was supposed to be a tune-up fight.
He didn't train for it, and he admitted to it.
Well, that's the point. That's what I'm saying.
He didn't train for it, and
Buster Douglas was a tune-up fight,
and he went in there with high on whatever the fuck he was doing, or whatever the case may be. When we look at Mike now, and I told people before this shit started happening, when they were doing this Legends League or whatever, and I was watching Mike. And he was I said, the strongest thing that anybody could have, especially you're an athlete, is muscle memory. Muscle memory is dangerous. Your body will always remember what you've done 20 years before. Listen, I was a gymnast when I was a kid, and I could still do a fucking round off. I could still do a forward roll. If you put me on the spring, I probably could do a flip. I might not land on my feet, but I could probably do it. It's muscle memory. This dude was still moving before this happened. He cut weight. He fucking got into this ring, and it was, I was more astounded of how he moved because I said, listen, if he wanted to, he could have finished Roy. He really, to me, I think he could have finished Roy. But his mindset.
I think if he had extra rounds, he could have finished.
No. His mindset that he is now, that he's older, just like your progression as a man now. Mm-hmm. His mindset is this: I don't have to do that anymore. True. And he said it on his podcast to where he said early on, he's like, I don't want to be that guy that I was as a younger man, because that man is dangerous. I make sure that I put him away because I don't want to hurt anyone anymore.
You should see
after the death of his child.
Oh my God!
After his loss of money, of revenue and everything, these guys make money from this shit.
Money.
Yeah, ridiculous.
He lost his child.
Yeah, but I'm saying in that and all that,
Excuse me.
His whole mindset was, I don't need to be that anymore.
I couldn't imagine that guy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to be that anymore.
Oh man, but it was a beautiful. You know, I'm glad they both did it.
Oh, it's great.
It was
Roy
great.
didn't look bad either. But Roy sat there and he said, "Yo,
Roy.
I accomplished a dream."
Roy was trying to move like he was 30. You know what I mean? And poor guy was like, Mike was smart, and Mike, it's just like, remember in the 6 Rocky, it's like we don't have speed anymore. This is what we need now, so you adapt.
Right.
So Roy was like, when you kind of look like the old, he looked like the old Roy for a second.
Right.
It was like ba ba ba, with that quick left. It's just like ba ba ba, it's like in the he always came in with the 1-2 the 1-2-3, the 1-2-3, move out of the way, 1-2-3, move out of the way, 1-2-3, miss, boom. You know what I mean? And it's just like
I kept telling people, I said, listen, Mike fucked with Roy's body that whole time because he know if he went to the head, he'd have fucked him up. He'd have fucked him up. He would have fucked him up. And I kept telling people, it's a heavy sparring session. And Mike knew it. Once I saw Mike come up with the hands up, I was like, this could be a long night for somebody, man. But I admire his mindset.
It was worth the $50.
Of course it was.
Worth the 50.
I didn't pay shit.
Asshole.
But
I'm glad I gave my money.
I admire
Birthday present to myself.
I admire. Then your birthday coming up. Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
But I admire his mindset for it, because even with that, the first round, you saw it. Roy was the heavy breathing. And then he said it. Body shots was killing him. And Mike was like, what's the next round?
Now,
he looked good.
That, I think, should encompass the end, hopefully the end of 2020. The rise. You know what I mean? I hope we all have learned something.
Right.
We've all learned things in this podcast.
Right.
Now, we got to talk about my man.
I know.
Before we wrap
which one, Trump or McGregor?
You want to land this on a light note?
Let's go with Trump quick. Let's go with Trump.
All right, fine. We'll talk about Trump, and then
let's go with Trump.
All right, fine.
Do you still have faith in this man?
I have faith in what he represents.
Which is what?
My ideals and how I believe we should progress as a society.
But, Hank, there's other Republicans in your circle.
Now.
But why? It's funny because the last conversation we had before, when the mics went off, it was funny banter, but we talk about that. He emphasizes your standard as a guy. He's an alpha male. He's fucking sexist and possible race. Oh, I don't want to say that now. No, he's racist and shit.
No,
the mics are on.
Yeah, he's sleeping. No, he's sleeping. Your dog's sleeping.
All right.
Wait, do you really believe he's a racist?
Yes.
You really believe? Now, racism, I think, is a little different from bigotry, right? Bigotry is like you really hate something, right? Racism is you believe that you're superior. Your race or, your race is superior.
Okay.
And, because I don't like the idea that only whites could be racist, right? Because I think everybody could be racist.
No.
No, you don't think so?
No, here's the difference. When it comes to racism, there's power. As a minority.
No, that's not fair.
No.
Drinking the Kool-Aid?
No. Listen, as a minority, we don't have power. So we can't be racist.
Okay, no, that's not true.
No.
That's not true.
What do you mean?
That's that the system is wrong. The system could be fixed, but the system itself isn't. Humans are racist.
Just as people don't believe in white privilege, because you got to understand there is white privilege. It goes the same way with being a man and being a male, that you get more of a leeway and an open avenue than a woman do.
To what?
Than to women.
To what?
To women.
What do I have?
To whatever.
I don't agree.
If you and I go for a job and your name comes up before mine, and you see Santiago as my real last name to your shoot name, they will hire you before me.
You really think that?
Oh, undoubtedly.
You really believe
it's not
that?
think, it's knowing. It is that.
Okay. I will agree that that has happened.
No, it's.
I don't agree that it happens on a large scale in this day and age.
Maybe not in New York, because in New York we are a minority, but across the rest of the country, oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that somebody should be hired just on the basis of what their name is?
They should be hired on their merit of what they've accomplished. Yes, but
okay.
But
so
I could have the same standing that you have, and even more. But just because
you don't think you could work the other way? What if I walk into an office and Selena Sanchez, who I hope has big tits.
You're not helping the argument here. You're not helping the conversation here. You're not helping the conversation, sir.
I'm sorry.
You're not helping it.
I'm not sorry. I'm really not.
You're not.
I'm not sorry. So, but if she hires a Latina woman, right? Is that bias because she wants to help somebody out?
But
where does it end? Where does it stop?
But let's think about it like this: how many people do you think of that position have that, as opposed to people in your white entitlement or position or your race or culture or whatever, has opposed to any of those in a minority who has that position? You guys outnumber us. It's true. You do.
Singularity.
You do. You outnumber.
Whites outnumber Latinos. Whites outnumber blacks. Whites outnumber Asians. Whites
in position of power as of now, yes, you do. You do.
So you think the balance should be tipped?
I think that it should be, everybody should be called out of merit and their worth rather than who the fuck they are.
I agree with you.
But it's not.
You don't think so?
No, it's not. It's really not.
I disagree.
You disagree, which is okay, but you disagree because I don't know whether you don't recognize it on the workforce.
No, I'm not saying discrimination hasn't happened. But in this day and age where there's affirmative action, there's hiring programs.
It means nothing. It's not as relevant as it was maybe in that push. It's not.
I don't think so.
Have you lost jobs because somebody was a minority?
I lost jobs because of female entitlement.
Well, if you're mad about puss, that's different. But I'm talking about
you.
But if it has to, I'm talking about minority wise. There is. You can't sit there and believe that there's no such thing as a white privilege. And the man that was in office, although he didn't sit there and push it, he brought it to light and gave those who follow him the entitlement to make it believe that it's real. He sat there and made it and say that.
Are you trying to say he stoked the flames of people's underlying bigotry?
Racism, bigotry is always around.
No,
always
of course. It'll always be, as long as there are human beings on this planet, there'll always be racism, bigotry, hatred.
He gave them the light to light those tiki torches and wear those fucking Hawaiian shirts, whatever the fuck it was that they were doing.
That was stupid.
And he did not condone their actions and did not say that.
But he said several times, I disavow white supremacy. I disavow it all time.
Under pressure, because why?
Okay,
because the cameras.
That's
no,
not fair.
But listen,
that's not fair.
Why is it not? Because when the cameras was hot on him during the debate, or whatever the case may be, or during the past couple of no. I'm not. And listen, you're not talking to a guy who doesn't know this shit.
All right.
We're talking about his 2016, 2017, 2018 minimized tweets about it. But whenever he sat there under the gun, he always fucking on a slide note said, I know they like me and they want me to do what it is, and I don't know who they are. He disregarded them. Would you like to endorse anybody who disregarded you?
Would
you endorse anybody who disregarded you?
Would I endorse someone who disregarded me?
Yes.
No.
That's exactly what happened. Those Proud Boys, I don't know who they are, but I don't know who the fuck there is, but you know what?
Do you know who the Proud Boys are?
Yeah, they're a bunch of fucking militia dudes who are filled up with not only fucking
They're
white
all kinds.
supremacists.
No, they're all
but
kinds.
no, wait till what I say. But they're a mixture of dumbass fucking Latinos as well.
No, there's blacks. There's plenty.
No.
They're-
That's what I'm
they're-
saying. It's a mixture. I know. That's what I'm saying.
All right, now, have you spoken to a real white supremacist?
And you know what's funny? Because
A real,
I
like-
haven't bumped into anyone in my neighborhood, but I would love to.
Bumped in-
I would
No,
love.
no, I'm
I would
talking-
love to have a conversation
No,
with one of them.
like I'm talking about Derek Vineyard type of.
Oh, I
white
would
supremacist.
love to.
All right. I mean, hopefully he doesn't flip up the table and stuff. I'm serious. And I'll get to. I wanted to bring.
Do
that
you
up.
look at white supremacists and go, "Ooh, that's too much for me"?
No. But I don't look at black supremacists and go, "Oh, that's too much for me." That's the way you.
I
want to work.
do.
You really? That's but if that's the
I
way.
do.
Okay, I value one of
I
my
do.
core values is freedom. If you want to walk the earth that way, walk the earth that way. There are consequences.
No, it's dangerous.
There is danger in the world.
Fine, but with that kind of mindset, it's dangerous.
Do I think it's right? Not really. Do I believe that you have the right to believe that? Sure.
You have the right to believe that crackers is God. That's fine. That's whatever
Sure.
you believe in. But the fact is that do you want to push the fact that a cracker? I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about as in rich crackers, whatever. That because of a rich cracker, I'm going to fucking stab you. That's fucking different.
Okay, but these people aren't a national security threat. They're too little in number.
Whoa, no. Regardless of what you say, they're still should be considered. Regardless of how little, they are considered terrorists.
Absolutely, they are.
So
terrorists.
they are a security threat.
A national they're not. They don't have the numbers of power to really overtake anything.
Doesn't matter.
You don't think
Al
so?
Qaeda had fucking probably 500,000 when they started.
Not even.
If that, and they were still considered a terrorist, a security threat.
Exactly.
So the people who live in our country who feel this way, yeah, they're a security
Do
threat.
they make you feel unsafe?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's a shame.
Yes.
I'll protect you.
Not for me personally, but yeah, if in the environment that I work in, yeah, I could bump into one of these bozos and they think it could take me out because I'm Puerto Rican or because I'm a minority. Yes.
I'll protect you.
Oh, he's such a sweetheart.
So Connor's fighting.
But before we wrap it up, we go to Connor quick. Do you believe there was fraud?
If it was me, I would make a case for it. Now, to tell you the truth, if there's no fraud, if it's just like, yeah, bro, there's no fraud, he needs to bow out gracefully.
Well, Bill Barr has said that there's no fraud. And that was his man's in him.
Bill Barr?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
What?
The Attorney General,
Oh, well,
William Barr.
there's
Not Bill Burr, the fucking comedian.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
The Bill Barr, the
Well,
Attorney
to
General,
me-
the man he appointed said
Okay.
there is no fraud.
okay, to me, I would take it to court.
They
Now,
took everything to court, and everybody's the same.
I would take it to the Supreme Court.
They can't because you need to have evidence that there's something to take to the Supreme Court, and every
Well,
state
he had a
and the
press
Attorney
conference.
General has said that
Again,
nothing.
He had a press conference today. I want to see what he says, and we'll come back in January if there's a new president, and if there's not a new president, I wonder what's going to happen. But if it's a fair and legal election, the dude's got to bow out gracefully, as gracefully as he possibly can at this point.
That is such a fucking oh my god! Shit.
What?
It's almost. I don't know. I
Bow out great. I just told you he needs to bow out
I know,
gracefully.
but if you've heard for weeks that that everybody's saying there's nothing, there's no conspiracy.
they?
It's fraud. Every state, every fucking judge who in every state says there's nothing that prove. In the media, Giuliani and everybody has been sitting there saying, yeah, there's fraud here. But when you go in front of the judicial system and they're like, what do you have for proof? And they go, well, we don't really have nothing. What are we doing here? What's the point?
You have to have affidavits. You have to have witnesses. I mean, it's kind of like I'll give you an example. I went to a lawyer recently for something that had nothing to do with anything law. It had to do with the city and all that stuff. But he was a very astute lawyer, and something like this is like calling somebody a racist legally, right? It's a very serious accusation, right? Now I could be like, he's racist against
Detroit.
No, you're
Philadelphia.
No, you're racist against
Atlanta.
me. Well,
this is why I'm correlating it. Anyway. That's what it is.
I don't know.
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
Because they don't know how to vote because they're dumb fucking minorities. They don't know how to vote.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. You're smarter than that.
Am I really?
Absolutely. Well, I've given you too much credit for the past.
I think you might have. But the fact is that the GOP and that party, yeah, they made it seem as though that's what it pretty much was. Is that
again? If he wants to spend his money, and
I would have sat there and if you had another individual in that party that showed some kind of relevance in which that he wasn't playing his followers for the money that he's getting, I would have been like, okay, then maybe he has some kind of backing or kind of.
How's he made money? I really want to look that up.
$170 million he made of people donating to believing that this election was a fraud, which is basically hand over fist. 75% of that money is not going to finding out whether or not this election was a fraud. It was going to the legal actions of it occurring.
Sounds pretty conspiracy to me, brother.
Yeah, by him.
By you.
No.
And him.
Stop. So we go to Conor.
We'll go McGregor.
Before we go. So Conor McGregor, your guy, before we wrap up 2020.
So what I believe...
I'm going to get another drink while you talk.
Yeah, so Conor, he's going to fight Poirier.
I thought he was going to fight one of the Paul brothers.
That was a stupid... first of all, the fact that dude thinks that he could fight an elite fighter like Conor McGregor. First of all, they're not even the same weight class. Second of all, the dude had all right boxing shot, not even all right boxing shot. He knew how to stand and throw a couple of jabs, and you know what I mean. But you know how easy it was to beat up a guy who was wailing at you. You know what I mean? All you had to do was move away and hit him in the back of the ear. You know. Hey, you saw the fight; it was stupid. And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm calling out Conor McGregor, this elite, the best striker in the UFC. Literally, he went toe to toe with the best boxer." Wink, wink. Went toe to toe with the best boxer 3 years ago. And went 10 rounds with him. He thinks he's gonna box that dude. Fuck out of here.
No. Here's the thing.
You can fight Dylan Downes though.
The one thing I can say is that Jake Paul, he's been training.
No, I'm not saying he hasn't been training.
He out of both brothers, he's the one that he can box.
Is the man? I would have took him seriously if he named a contender. I would have taken
right.
I would have took him he's oh yeah, boxing's my thing, right? And it's just yeah, I want to fight Conor McGregor and Dylan Downes.
But Conor's the way the money's at.
Of course,
Conor's where the money's at.
But I had the same problem with CM Punk, who had his entire UFC career filmed and made money off of this wrestler's trying. I mean, Brock Lesnar had name value too, but they didn't document his transition into the UFC.
Right.
Fought in Japan and it's just remember the dude from WWE? Brock Lesnar behind Conor McGregor, even more than Ronda Rousey, is the biggest box office draw the UFC's ever had.
Yeah, but the whole big thing where
you put Brock on a pay-per-view right now against Stipe Miocic, that's a $500,000 to $1 million box.
Hell yeah. But with this whole Jake Paul thing is
we're just saying is we're saying his name right now.
You put him in a ring with a guy who can't even fight. There's a difference, and you'll talk. You could tell it. You can't fight, then why box? I tell people, you can't even fight. You don't even know how to be in a fight. Why would you even know how to
Snoop
box?
Dogg on commentary was
epic.
Beautiful.
Epic.
I want him to call my matches.
Epic. You train as a boxer.
Yes.
When you saw Nate going in were you who trained him?
Yeah. I was oh my God. The way he was, oh my God, the way he was standing, the way he lunged head first into it.
It's what are you doing here, sir?
No, put your hands up.
You know what I liked? Did you watch the whole card?
Yeah.
There's that kid, his last name is Jack.
Bardo Jack, who beat up the military dude.
That guy's nice, though.
Beautiful. He pieced him up for 8 rounds.
And let me tell you, and I like that kid, the military, McKenna.
Yeah,
I like him.
If someone really taught him how to really throw hands like that, he could be dangerous.
He could be dangerous too, but that
because
kid
he did
Jack?
not go down. Oh, Badu Jack.
Oh my, Badu Jack.
Badu Jack. Yeah, he was from Sweden, I think. Yeah,
I think
the lightweight fight was nice too.
Yeah, the first match.
Yeah.
But I was more impressed with that Badu Jack kid. I really.
I like the lightweight fight too. I can't remember the Spanish kid's name and the black guy from Baltimore.
Was Badu wasn't a lefty, right? Or no?
No, he was orthodox.
He's orthodox.
He would switch, but he
kind of
switched when he was throwing.
He kind of reminded me of a more stocky of Winky Wright.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah, I like Winky.
You like Winky?
Winky had a fucking vicious uppercut, man.
Yeah, he did.
If you fight, like,
he did. Winky was amazing.
Yeah, Winky. And here's the question I ask you: now with this legend league that could happen, who do you want to see make a comeback in there?
Mickey.
I thought he was dead. I'm kidding.
They made a movie about him.
Nah, I know Mickey. You know who I want to see?
I want to see Mickey fight Floyd.
Ooh,
I want to see Mickey fight Floyd.
I was saying Trinidad versus De La Hoya.
That's what they never got, and obviously I like Felix Trinidad. I wish God rest his soul. I wish Macho was still around.
I wish fucking Purnell was still alive.
Oh my God, thank you.
I would have loved to see
this year.
Yes, he did. Yeah, Purnell passed away this year. Who's another one? I brought up Sugar Shane.
Yeah.
I would like to see Shane. I want to see Shane come back.
I think all those guys, especially now since I follow some of those guys on Instagram. Some of those guys are still like, I see Mick beating the pads. You know,
I'm telling you, muscle memory, man. Muscle memory will do it.
You know why I want to see Floyd fight Mickey so bad? Because Floyd fought Gaddy on Gaddy's decline.
Right.
And did he not? I can't remember. Did he knock Gaddy out?
No, he knocked him down. He didn't knock him out. Yeah,
right?
He didn't knock him out. No.
But this is after the 3 wars with Ward, right? And it was like I think it was like 2 years after that, right?
Yeah.
And to me, like you couldn't get like that was a stacked division. You know, Floyd fought a lot of you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Chavez
is excellent.
Chavez is a good one.
Who's besides Hatton, Floyd fought?
Naseem. I would love to see Naseem. I want to see Naseem fucking arrogant ass come back.
He was. I mean, he's you know he's still young enough to like fight as a contender too.
Yeah.
Like he's not like he's.
I would like
old.
to see Naseem and Roy.
Naseem and Roy, really?
Yeah.
All right.
I can see Naseem and Roy do it.
I like to see Conor go back.
I would like to see Conor do it.
I like to see Conor go. No. Like as a contender, like I would like to see him. Like he said earlier this year that he's like I actually want a boxing world title. And in fact, I like the fact that he went back to his club. And to bring this full circle here, fighting. I think I was thinking about this last year, and you were talking about he needs to go. I think the UFC, and we spoke about this that Khabib, and I still don't like him. Did exactly what he and the UFC wanted him to do.
Habib, he
humbled Conor McGregor.
He retired, but you think that's gonna?
No, he's just mourning his father.
Yeah,
he's mourning his father.
I said the same thing. He's not going anywhere.
He's mourning his father. That's what he did. He humbled Conor McGregor, not like Conor McGregor, the idea, the business of Conor McGregor,
right.
the guy in front of the microphone, that guy, but humbled him that 2 years ago when he was fighting Habib, I knocked Poirier out in a minute. You know what I mean? Now 6 years later, they could be like, all right, well, Poirier's...
but with Conor, I don't want it to be that what Khabib is going to be that he does the Floyd and oh my God, the Filipino
Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao, and that he waited till late in the year to get his match
come on.
afterward.
I mean, what about McGregor Diaz 3? You know what I mean? And that's
right.
the thing. Like I was talking to a buddy of mine, they're sitting on that because that's an easy money grab, right? But you know what I mean? Like I don't want it to be so far away from people where it's not like, oh, Diaz, like they keep saying like, oh, the Diaz fight's always there, right? Now he moved up to 170 and he knocked out Cowboy in a round. Yes, I know Cowboy's a gatekeeper, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we could put you against Masvidal is yes,
Yeah.
Masvidal's bigger than him, but like he's proved he could fight bigger men.
Right.
You know, it's just like Masvidal's an option. Kamaru Usman's an option for him. So, you know, and especially at that young age, 32, when we spoke about 40 being the when you have 55-year-old men in a boxing ring looking like, you know, maybe they could fight, you know, like the top contenders. Like maybe they could.
All right, I'll give you a rundown for the future. Dangerous man for 2021 in UFC. Who people need to watch for?
Need to watch.
My guy who's doing commentary on fucking
Paul Felder.
Who's doing commentary for the Tyson fight.
Israel Adesanya.
Oof.
He's undefeated. He's not someone to look for. The
No,
dude's
not to
undefeated.
look for. I'm saying dangerous.
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. I think Connor is that season. You know, the season resumes for Connor.
That kid is fucking phenomenal, though, man.
Connor, yeah, absolutely.
No, shut up.
Israel Adesanya, yes, he is. I would like to see Jorge Masvidal make a comeback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that performance, that was that performance was very 2020. Jorge Masvidal's performance, very 2020. I like to see another heavyweight title fight. Dangerous. That kid from, I can't remember his name, from the same place where Beam's from. He fights out of Sweden. Do you remember his name?
No.
He like fights every like, geez, what's his name?
Let me go quickly to boxing. Dangerous guy in boxing right now.
The heavyweight, well, the unofficial heavyweight champion, Tyson Fury. He's fighting, and you know I'm really getting sick of Deontay Wilder. Like, you know, like it's every.
But it's always those two though.
Yeah, but no, it's like he's always like, because the rematch is like, I don't know why they just don't make the fight for the undisputed championship already.
Right.
But, you know, it's like,
You know who I like?
Who?
Ryan Garcia. I like that kid.
Because he's a
What? He's a spick? Shut up, Adi.
No, what the fuck? No, he's just he's a pretty boy. Like, you know, he's
But he's
handsome.
good.
And,
He's the modern day fucking Oscar. He's like, but he's good though.
no, he's excellent. You see his hand. Woo!
He's good. And Diaz as well.
Yeah, he is.
Diaz is good, but I like Garcia.
You gonna watch that fight?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. For your up and coming, who do you want to see in the ring in 2021 for yourself? Who you want once all this clears out? Who you want to see in 2021 wrestling wise?
I'm really Robbie Eagles. Robbie Eagles.
You still
Robbie Eagles. Yeah, I'm looking for that. You know, I owe him one. I'm looking at the. I know the Super Junior tournament's going on right now, so I'm looking at that. If I hover around 185, 190. I could make that tournament. That's always been a dream of mine to make that tournament. A lot of my heroes were in that tournament. Eddie Kingston, I want to see in the ring. Someone on the indie. You know, there's no one. I would like to see Anthony Gangone in the ring. That's the most talented guy in the indies right now.
Yeah.
Period. Not just because he's my friend. Just that guy is Pat Patterson. Like, you know, in his brain, he's
Right.
like that's who he is. Like, he's just so good. Is there anybody out there on the indies right now that I would like to see? I mean, I'm going to see Brother Greatness in a couple days.
pitch that because before we wrap up, what do you got coming up?
NEW and NAW, I think. Yeah, New Age Wrestling.
NEW.
Yeah, so NEW up in Connecticut. I think they do a live show, and I'll be wrestling Brother Greatness. And I'm going to smack around his Protestant ass. And
Oh shit!
hey,
sorry.
listen,
Lord forgive me.
he's had a beating a long time coming. So,
But
I like that guy.
Once again, brother, and I appreciate every time you're on here. It's been what 7 years,
and everybody, you know, there will be more years.
Of course,
there will be more.
I
years.
always tell you, you always have the open door here. You
And
have.
you know, when I get famous, I won't forget about you.
For me, you're always famous. Always remember that. We're family. But
Appreciate it.
as
Thank you.
always, like I said, for
Invite me to your home.
when in,
No, I'm serious. No, you
you ate my
laughing at me.
pateles. That's great. You ate my pateles.
I don't know why you didn't offer me any when I walked in the door.
I got another one if you want it. You can take
No,
it.
I'm gonna go home and eat my steak.
But guys, as always, when we do the roundup for Turnbuckle Tabloid as well as Hank's Happy Hour, it's always been a pleasure. We could always have this conversation, and he's basically the only guy that I really could have this conversation with because not only we have our social differences, but we have our differences or whatever, but we also come together and have our our beliefs that what we do for this show is not only to share with you guys the betterness of what open conversation is and dialogue is, but it's also about the betterment of us as humanity, and thus we do this for the profession as well as for the listeners in our professional lives and our personal lives. But thank you, sir, as always, for dropping by.
Absolutely appreciate it.
And you're looking great. Shit, I want to wear a snug t-shirt like that as well.
You could wear the t-shirt you're wearing now.
But I'm fat.
Stop eating shit.
What's your social media outlet? Let me get to it.
G Hank Flanagan at Twitter. Hank Flanagan on Instagram. And Hank Flanagan on Facebook.
And next year, damn it, we're going to break down why he doesn't want to honor his Puerto Rican heritage. So, guys, when we come back, we have, as a matter of fact, no, that's a wrap. So, guys, take a bump and we out of here.
Have a good New Year, everybody.
Enjoy your holidays.
And Merry Christmas.
And enjoy your Twitter. So,
Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas.
And your Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Oh, you actually acknowledge it because, it's black. So, guys, enjoy your holidays. We will see you guys. Turnbuckle Tabloid.
3, 2, 1.
Turnbuckle Tabloid.